my brother-in-law, Bobby, from the great state of Ohio. I don't know, we could be related. My mom's from Cleveland, Ohio.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was born and raised Cleveland, Ohio. And then obviously the master, I call you Yoda, of the peptide and hormone world, Jay Campbell. Thank you very much for coming in. And this is like, our friends and family all know it, but this is the first time we're all getting together since really the ending of the show.
Yeah, no doubt.
Where we're all together and hanging out. And
That's right.
Talk about this
Exactly.
a little bit. We actually just got the sizzle reel.
Yep. And it's epic.
Which was epic. I'll be honest, when I saw the first show, I was scared shitless because I thought
Such a clash.
It wasn't that. I was just thinking for fear of the God of women wanting to kill me. Like my girlfriend, because they really just threw 5 different women I was for the first show. I'm like, no.
Oh, you haven't let her see it?
No, I'm going to let her see it when I'm with her. Because I'm not going to, hey, check this out. Because I got to be able to not have sex with any of those women. I promise you. They didn't. But no, it was just like, oh boy, we can talk about this. You guys are going to make me out to be a playboy fucking guy the whole time. No, not at all. But then when we see like the orchestration of what the actual whole show is about, like those clips are fun because they are just clips in there. And, and then it really drew everything together. And I love that there's a lot with like the doctor piece, Bobby, like once you start filtering all those interviews, it's so good.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And honestly, to Jason, obviously Anchor, who's involved in the production, the direction, they really wanted to show a clash of personalities. The big picture is all of us are very focused, very heart-centered. Our goal is to help people. We're super passionate about helping people. We don't give a shit about the money. The money comes and goes, but all of us are aligned in helping people. And you can really see that.
Yeah.
That in the trailer, that in the first episode. And I know you were instrumental in that and I'm sure you were too, but I was constantly telling Jason, hey bro, in the background, remember we have businesses to run.
Yeah, I kept telling him too.
Yeah, I know you did. But like you can't paint us as like these fucking cocaine cowboys.
Yeah. I told him, I'll do anything to make sure that we have enough footage to make it interesting.
Exactly.
But don't take my generosity for spending the money to do those things.
Exactly.
And then turn me into, this is my life.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm like, I haven't left my home.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks, I'm happy.
Exactly.
And I'm not just in Vegas and fucking clubs all day long.
Yeah, no, but I don't think they did that.
No.
To their credit, I think they did a really good job of clashing all of our personalities because Bobby has a totally different life than you have a totally different life than Bobby. But all three of us, we are all heart-centered, very heart-focused, and passionate about helping people. And that's what really shows out.
I'll be honest, I was blown away by you talking on the phone, all this stuff, but your restaurants, Bobby, holy crap. Okay, this is a very big compliment. And this is what taught me a lot. Do you ever read the book Setting the Table?
Yeah, I didn't read it, but I read the notes.
Cliff notes.
I about 10 people have bought me that book.
Yeah, because it really was, it's the best book I've ever read for just people that just goes, fuck all the noise and the glitz and glamour. If you can't figure out the basics of the restaurant, which is hospitality, the table is set, the customer service, just the basics. Those are the things you start with. And then everything else is the fluffy on top.
Yeah.
Your restaurants nailed them though. Cause everywhere I went, even when I wasn't with you, the service, the cleanliness, the ambiance, I was blown away by how from someone that ran restaurants for a long time, I was truly from the bottom of my heart inspired to almost want to get back into them.
Plus, it's the best food.
So
maybe
and the food was insane.
Maybe I will suck you back in.
Well, but they're healthy.
No, but truthfully, the food is the best food in the United States for that class of restaurant. And I've always told Bobby this, like every single person that works for him is attentive. And if they're not attentive, they probably don't last. And so that's his quality of like training people processes, systems. But then again, too, he has such a huge heart. Like all of his people, no one quits. No one ever quits because he rewards them for working hard and being productive. And that's how you got to build a business.
Oh, for sure. The day that I got there before you and meet him at the restaurant, he's like, oh, hey, let's sit down, have a drink and appetizer or whatever. And I'm sitting there and I swear to God, it was like sitting with the Godfather. Yeah. Like just people walking by, this young girl, she's 22. Hi, Bobby. I'm like Danny's daughter. Oh yeah, I remember your daddy, a great guy. He said, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Danny Garcia, right?
I swear to God, it's a little hilarious. I'm looking at him like, are you?
You do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I spent the first part of my life doing what I had to do to make money so I could do what I wanted.
Yeah.
I actually almost got out of the restaurant and I was always good at it.
Yeah.
I wasn't great at it until I didn't give a fuck if I was in it. So
yes.
Then I started creating restaurants because that's where I like to have my own meetings. the way I wanted them, and I could maintain such a standard, like in terms of the food quality and things like that.
If I'm not going to eat here, then I won't make it.
And then, so that's what happened with Town Hall and Rebel and all my new concepts, is I'm just like studying the greats, like the Steve Jobs. These guys, they always said nothing can be 10% better. No one's going to know a difference. Got to be 10 times.
Yeah, it's good. That's a
and
good
like,
quote.
like we know in our industry is culture beats strategy anytime.
Yep. Yeah.
All of us are great at culture because we care about our people. We believe God put us here to lead them. Right?
Yeah.
So people love authenticity. So that's how I run any of our business.
The cool thing is he hasn't told you this, but he just shared this with me recently. Hopefully I'm not getting in trouble by saying this, but he is like divesting himself of that stuff now. He's going to have people, operators run it, and he wants to focus full time on what we're doing now. So that's
it's the next chapter.
His mind into this, where he puts all of his energy into this. Imagine where this is going to go.
I think at every point, I think they're the same aspects that you were talking about, like building culture. People like us that seek to find what we like to do or what we want to do, and then we max it out. We get all the way to the top, and then you go, okay,
to do something different.
I've done it. And I don't know if you saw the new movie F1 with Brad Pitt,
it's awesome.
where he's literally just screwed. I'm just trying to win every race. You know what I mean? Because hey, he wins Daytona, and come back and do it next race. No, I already did it.
Exactly.
I already won it. I want to win the Indy 500. Or I want to win this. That mentality, you literally have mastered that restaurant and entrepreneurial side of that. I've never seen a grouping of places. I walk with a lot of owners places where they're like, oh yeah, hi. They're scared. Most restaurants, when you walk around with the owner of a restaurant, everybody's scared of that. They're freaking out. Everyone in your restaurant wanted to come up and talk to you.
They're all empowered.
Yes. They all feel like they contribute and that they're important and they have an opinion.
It's good they are.
Just giving you a nice compliment.
Appreciate you noticing that, man. It's good to hear.
Yeah. Can't wait to check out your other place when we go to the Arnold in a few weeks.
Yeah. That's exciting.
I'm so glad you're going.
Yeah, that's going to be epic.
You know what's funny is I'm actually out in Columbus again later on the year, and I think it's in May because I'm out there for a 4-day rock festival.
No way. I actually think I know the group that puts it on it. God,
is it like a headbanger festival?
No, I remember
some state park. I'll get you the details because I just booked. There's no rooms, so I booked.
Just stay at my house if you need some. I'm never there. I probably won't even be there. Yeah.
Okay, I'll talk to you because I can. There's 4 of us going.
There's not any great hotels there, so unless you can't.
My house has a nice heated pool. It's got. I'm just stay at my house. I'm not just saying.
Honestly, I'll take you up on that.
I hate
couldn't find anything.
I feel like my house a waste because nobody ever uses it.
I will use it and I won't destroy it. It's me and my girlfriend, Jason's going, and then
your house.
I think it's
if you don't stay out there, I'll be mad.
All right, I'll be there. I'm in.
But we could talk. So what we could talk about is we have wellness clinics. We're divested in the psilocybin in the psychedelic space. We could talk about what we're doing with our longevity fund. We could talk about the things that are doing. We're all in commodity industries. What makes us unique is what we're doing that's disruptive within our industry. So those are things where I think that is going to be interesting to a consumer. What's different? What makes us different?
You know what? Something I would like to do with in the future. So yeah, if you go to his restaurant, everything is clean. The food is clean, right? So the wellness, and then he's got his wellness clinics, right? So that is the next step. Are you still going down that path of expanding on that concept and starting to move it out?
Yes.
So what is the plan there? Because I know when we first talked, we're talking about maybe getting somewhere max 500, but realistically, probably 100, 125 units would get you into most of the places you need to be with that concept.
Let's just talking some things we actually, because our industry changed in the last 2 months.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Some of our discussions were on hold, but we are, all of us, still moving forward with the longevity.
Okay, good.
So one of the things we talked about is, and I talked to Kaveh, your guy out there, who's great, man. You've done a great job.
Very blessed to have it.
You've done a great job building your team, which is awesome. And I was explaining to him why I love this space. Because Jay said something is like, although we're not in it for the money, I'm a capitalist.
Yeah.
And I love the freedom money buys you. I'm not a materialistic person. Anyone that knows me knows that.
Definitely. You live in an apartment
that I own.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying
I'm the most simple, wealthy guy.
I'm just saying you're not living in some 19,000 square foot mansion that you see 3 bedrooms in ever.
My point is, let's be honest, profit is oxygen for a business, right? So
correct.
What I love about the longevity industry is by being around it, we have, number one, access to the top and newest supplements and longevity protocols in the world, access to the top scientists and doctors in the world, right? What makes you more rich than that, Jeff? I mean, then another thing, the last thing is, because everyone else in pharma is such a fucking pussy and institutions are scared of their own shadow, none of the smart people are in, or the big money's in our industry.
They won't take risks.
So because what makes us different, and I was telling Jay, is we actually have a lot of money, all of us, and we're in an industry where there's not a lot of competition.
Yeah, we can take the risk on on pennies on the dollar compared to other industries.
Because soon enough, and it's coming quick, there's be a lot of money.
Yeah,
it's not institutional.
So the thing I think is most important about this, for this quick question, is all three of us are massive risk averse.
Yeah,
we are not risk averse at all. We actually look at this like Bobby just says. He's exactly right. This is a numbers game in our space right now. We made decisions, obviously, in November and December about selling through GLP-3 and doing what we're doing. And it turned out that the whole fucking industry followed exactly what we're doing, right?
Yeah,
so
literally,
we set the tone because we are not afraid.
Yeah.
And I think that for us, because again, we know this from the documentary, 1% of the world is using peptides. So if we get to 5% and then 5 goes to 10 and then onward and upward from there, you imagine where we positioned where we're at right now, if we're really truly up here and everybody else is down here. Imagine where this goes.
Like you said, it's not that I don't care about money either. But the money that I have made allowed me to save my mother's life. I do care about that. I'm just saying that I'm going to use my money to do a lot of good compared to a lot of evil and a lot of other.
Exactly.
So for people that is true. I always say I don't care about money, but I don't care about that kind of. I don't care about stepping on somebody's head to do it.
I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something else. There's such a bad pub. Sometimes it's the people that don't make money put out this perception that people that make money are bad. But I would say, on the contrary, you wouldn't make money and people wouldn't follow you if you weren't good.
Yeah.
When you started your company, you didn't have the money. No, you might be able to get people to follow you for a limited more time longer because you can pay them. But when you were building,
they worked.
You were free. Building, and I was building. They would have worked for free.
They were.
So
these guys worked for $5,000.
When people threaten my character, or any of our characters, I was like, look, dude, I didn't build this empire of people loving me and working for me for this long if there wasn't something authentic and good. We all can improve, but we get sometimes a bad rep because we got to make tough decisions. It's easy to sit on the sidelines and never be in the stands and never make a mistake. I critique all of us making mistakes because all of us have made mistakes.
A lot of them. We'll continue to.
You learn from them. I love mistakes.
Of course. It's not a mistake. It's literally an opportunity for growth.
Yeah. Even yesterday, we're launching Alpha Sync, and you say something, the game of telephone, you tell one person, by the 7 turns, it's not even close to the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
We had that exact thing happen with the launch. I'm like, we're launching on Friday. And I was talking about, we're going to launch the whole thing. And everyone's, we're going to launch on Friday. We're launching. Half the group was, we're launching the whole entire program. We're launching the whole program with the doctors that we have in the test site. So sure enough, on Tuesday, we launched the whole thing, and half the departments are like, we just launched to 9,800 doctors. And we're not ready for that. I said for 2 weeks, we were launching. We thought you meant to the 250 tests. Why would I launch again to the 250 in the test? In my mind, I go, none of you decided to ask me. And half the other group is, we were on the same page. We're ready for the launch. So mistake, I need to be more clear next time. Won't happen again. But you know what? I'm okay with that. And guess what? Little extra pressure builds a lot of confidence for the future.
%.
There's been no fire. It's just stress.
I always say, guys like us, we make it, like, people are like, oh, do you make a lot of good decisions? I say, no, I make a decision, then I make it the right decision. Like, dude, there's no perfect decision.
No.
You just got to keep working the plan.
You can conceptually just keep making things more and more perfect and never launch.
Man,
you know what I mean? 2 years later, you're still talking about how you're going to launch the program. I'm like, fuck it, we're launching. We'll fix if there's a mistake, we'll fix it and make it right.
That's the greatest thing about business. It's like as you get older and older, your life gets better and better because you build so much confidence. You're like, man, I can do anything. Everything is in your own hands, right? And it's so empowering.
All of our thoughts become things, right? So it's as long as you
taught me that a lot, man.
As long as you keep your thoughts focused on the big thing or the why, and then you take action every single day. Because if we start looking at like consciousness from like a scale level, there's levels of consciousness that we're not existing in right here, where it's you think it and you manifest, right? But in this level of reality, it's thoughts, words, actions, right?
Yeah, you got it.
I think it, therefore I know I can do it. I visualize it, but now I have to take massive action. So I always say, and you know this with your businesses and all the people that work for you, it's loving action. Like you always say to me, you say, lovingly, we have to tell this partner that's not the proper strategy because of this reason, versus like me, because I'm fucking hothead. And I want to go
Right.
after people like you do too. We want to go after people when they fuck up, but you can't. You have to love them and coach them because, bro, at the end of the day, and I'm learning this myself, every person is seeking to be heard.
Yeah.
They're seeking attention from the bosses, from the people that they see as above them. And they're no different than us. They just want to be recognized. And we have to learn to recognize them, like you always teach me, lovingly. And when we love them, even if we're coaching them because they've screwed up, they respect us because we're teaching them to love and not through, you dumbass, you fucked up. What the fuck?
I'm not gonna lie, every once in a while I do have that moment.
We still do.
Of course.
We want to be, we're all like that. We're all passionate.
No, but that is our learning. When
Couple
successful alpha male, your learning is to lovingly coach versus reactively get angry.
Yeah.
Because we do. We get reactive and we're like, dude, what the fuck are you thinking?
Yeah. All right. I want to go back to what we're talking about. Okay. So I'm building a gym. You own a private gym that you've been working on. You're the only one with an actual brick and mortar. I'm going to build a brick and mortar inside my corporate office that we just bought because I want to have personal access to a doctor at any time. Not like I'm getting, look, hey, I need Xanax, nothing like that. But like, I want to be able to go downstairs and be like, cool, I need to get my blood work done, or I want to get an IV, like at any point in time.
We're do it now. We can take our model and build one for you.
That's what I'm thinking. Why don't we
should talk
do
about
that? Because
so we have a wellness clinic. I don't want to say I was one of the first ones in the country, but I was one of the first ones in the country to do it, put it all under one roof. Like what happened is when you're a business, I look at places, you get ideas and then you like to put it all together. We all do that. And I was passionate about wellness. And when I would travel, I'd see different wellness clinics. And why doesn't people put this all under one roof and all the biohacking technologies? And I did that years ago in a place called Live, the wellness clinic. We worked on different ways to make that model profitable. Now it's profitable. Now we want to scale it. But what he's talking about, but the reason it worked is because I did live in an old building that I owned, almost to build it as my playground. I had a genetic condition where I have to give blood a lot to get the iron out of my body. And hemochromatosis. I had a really severe form of it called juvenile. And but I used to have to drive an hour, fill out paperwork, sit there to give the blood. Now I just go to my own clinic, which is right across the street from my office and whatever. Yeah. Or I just have the nurse go to my house and it pays for everything. Yeah. And then what happens when you do things from your heart, you just do them because it's to your standard. Of course, everyone's going to be that. Everyone trusts if you're using it, everyone trusts you. Right?
You want to go where you're going. That's the whole thing. So I want to do a Live Alpha. Yeah. If I'm Alpha, I have a gym. I want to put a Live Alpha in my, in there.
I'd love to work with
Live Alpha.
I like that. Yeah.
Like that. I'll be number 2. Here, I'll buy your first franchise.
Buy anything.
No, I want to say I bought the first franchise.
You'll have this.
I'm putting money on this thing. I want to say I bought it.
Somebody's already trademarked it.
No, probably not. Yeah. No, the way we spelled Live is LYV. So it's different. I actually got the name Live from Live, and I love the name Live Wellness, right?
Yeah.
But then I was like Live from Live in Miami, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know Live.
I just did it a little different.
That's probably one of the states or one of the cities I would never move to though.
Miami is fuck.
I just like it. For a quick 2-dayer, sure. I'm not a fan of I have friends that live there. Dude,
too many Northern California people.
I hate to say it. So like my buddy was out there. He's a professional DJ Susan, really cool guy. And when he did an event there and he walked in this really high-end spot and a guy literally was like in the spot, wouldn't leave, threatening to kill everybody. Just things like that. You're in like the nicest of area. It reminds me a lot of LA where there really just aren't that many safe areas. And even like Beverly Hills, my buddy's the head detective for Beverly Hills.
Different leadership in Florida. He's not gonna let it get too bad.
They do, but I hope they get reversed because I used to. I would have lived in Miami 10, 15 years ago. Right now, I wouldn't. I'm out there 3 times the last year and a half.
I was just in Miami 2 weeks ago, dude. It's not safe.
It's not safe.
I didn't know
it's way too dark, and it's just bad news, man. Like bad news. It's bad news.
Anyway, I don't care about Miami. None of us live there. You live in Tampa, right?
Exactly.
There you go.
Tampa's like Orange County now.
Everybody tells you like if you're gonna move to Florida, you should move to Tampa.
It's Orange County. There's tons of gym culture, tons of fucking influencer bodybuilder types. They all live there, and it used to be cheaper, but now it's not. It's literally Orange County now. Cost of living, housing, it's same shit.
So do you guys do like packages where it's $3,000, $5,000,
so we're trying to do packages and memberships. So what I did, the model, what I've done the last 3-4 years is just tweak the model. And you and I are talking a lot about the telemedicine model. We're trying to take all the functional medicine visits all online. because it's easier to scale it. And you don't need it. We don't want a doctor at every clinic. We want nurse practitioners and stuff. What you want at the clinic though is just a licensed physician that can do the EBU and those kind of treatments, hormone therapy, EBU, plasmapheresis, all those stuff. That's really cheap. You have one of those, it's low labor, then you sell the memberships. It's great.
Because the way I was looking at it is, it's our corporate office. So I don't want a ton of people I want to have a doctor in there, the whole thing, and that costs money. So there's got to be some kind of profit center you can pull out of it, right? And if we don't, then I'll write it off as a loss, but put it in there.
You'll break even at least.
Yeah. And then I was thinking, like, obviously I'm going to build a badass gym, 7,000 square feet. So you're all the top equipment. But the model that I was looking at, you can tell me you're going to fuck this up because you already practice it. You come in, you pay $3,000, you get access to the gym, you get unlimited peptides. You know,
$3,000 a year?
No, per month.
That's what I was going to say. You
per
make
month.
It higher. And they use all the biohacking technology.
So I'll have the red light bed, all that stuff. And then for $5,000, you get clotho and follistatin included, and you get 2 IVs for a month, and you get to use the hyperbaric or something like that. Maybe you don't get that on the
and then you don't need a ton of clients.
Yeah. And then on the $10,000, you also get exosome, the new cell stuff that we were talking about.
Couple strippers.
So, no, that's not actually at the 3. Yeah. They start there. Yeah. No, it's not even a la carte. There's little bags of ones everywhere you go.
At any given moment.
Yeah. You don't actually clean your hands with towels as cash, and then you throw it on them while you're at the gym.
Talk about the products. I think it's important.
Well, I think we should talk about what we talked about last night. I think right now, the most important thing that from bylines or sound bites from us is how broken the peptide industry is right now. How many scammers are in it?
Yeah. So many people have been called out for doing fake reporting. Okay? Yep. And I think it really comes down to this. When you go to buy something and you're not buying it from someone that clearly is not making it.
Exactly.
Right. And if they're just some random little startup and you
Lone Star Peptide.
Yeah, whatever it is, right? And they go, do you think that guy, every time he buys 100 bottles, is then sending off 3 of those 100 that he just paid for out, and he's going to wait 2 to 3 weeks, pay a bunch of money, another $1,000 or more to get mass spec, purity, potency, endotoxin, sterility done? And then if there's a problem, then pull them off and say, oops, I'm going to eat that loss because the guy in China doesn't give a shit, or India. There's a lot coming from India now. But you think that guy's doing anything when he's got 90 products or 80 products on it? You think he's doing that? I spend for third-party testing, I'm at least $150,000, $250,000 a month.
You know, the biggest problem is that guy that's getting all the scrutiny put on our industry.
That's exactly what it is.
But it's not just one guy. And to your point,
it's 75% of the industry.
It really is 75%. I hate saying that because people attack me when I say that now, but we talked about this last night. And to further what you just said and drill deeper down the rabbit hole is, of that 100 vials that he got of 10 different products, 100 each, again, 80 of them may be legit and 20 are fake. But over time, as those are ripped through and this guy's turning them over, those are the ones that end up getting tested and they come out as fake. And so now you're destroying the credibility of the entire industry. Because look, I don't want to sit here and say every nickel and dime Lone Star Peptides that opened up yesterday and they target you on Facebook is a scam. But what I'm saying is, and you agree, is that so many of the bottles that they're actually selling are coming from China or India, and they are laced with bad products. Again, for every 100 vials, 20 of them are fake.
I don't think this is the thing. I don't think the API is necessarily the issue.
Exactly.
It's the
active peptide ingredient.
Yeah, active peptide or active pharmaceutical ingredient. So when you put BPC as the API, I don't think that they're not putting BPC in, but what I do think is happening is they're putting the BPC in that they couldn't sell.
Exactly.
Just on the regular market, and then they just throw all of it, like, oh, what are you going to do with it? Oh, throw it all in a batch.
Right.
Yeah, endotoxins are through the roof.
Exactly.
Might be slightly unsterile, or it's right at the peak where if there's anything else goes wrong, the sterility is going to be off. And we'll just sell it to the 20-year-old that's at the gym pedaling out of his trunk, like the guy that was doing it to me at the gym. I literally wear a peptide shirt to the gym. And I'm in a $300 a month lifetime, and I'm wearing a Peptide gangster top. And this guy comes up to me and goes, hey, bro, I got some boxes of peptides in my car if you want to buy them. And I looked at this guy, go, for one second, I thought, I do have dreadlocks. I have a lot of tattoos. So I guess you're picking the demographic if you think I'm just some bum off the street. And I look at him, I go, nah, bro, I'm good. He goes, great price, man. It's all legit
Great
stuff.
price, man.
All legit shit. And I go, I'm a manufacturer. I'm good. He goes, no, but my shit's like from the real places, the FDA goes. I go, like the green list? I go, yeah, that's where I buy all my stuff too.
Green list.
And he goes, what's the green list? He didn't even know what that was, of course.
Of course not.
And then it turns into,
That's hilarious.
then where do you get your API? I'll sell you API. Well, you just got a couple kilos of 5-amino-1 in your truck now? Yeah, let's get out there. Let's blast a couple orange lines and check it out. Make sure it's okay. So this guy's now selling me API. I'm like, dude, I buy from 18. I go do direct with China. Like when I have to buy API from China, I don't deal with middlemen. Like we literally hired in-house people that now work in China under the accreditation of a major medical company in China that I met when I was out there. I spent 3.5 weeks with my business partner, Rob, meeting with the top guys in China. And we have really good contacts over there for that. We went and toured facilities. My business partner speaks fluent Chinese. He built the entire rail system out there. He was awarded the National Medal of Honor from the president of China. This is my partner. So we're doing all these deals. I'm like, no, we work directly with the right people. He's no, you don't know the good guy. So, okay, whatever.
But that story is part and parcel of where
that's what I'm saying. So that guy, apparently people are buying from. They're like, no, I got a really good guy. All this stuff's legit.
But the big picture is that these people or those type of people are literally creating a very bad name because as we talked about last night again at dinner is like how many people have come up to us in the last 6 months and maybe even go back a year and said, oh, I tried peptides. They don't work. And you and I know when we hear that's a complete lie because we've been using peptides for decades and we know that they work. So when we hear that from people, it means they're getting fake peptides.
Yeah. You take a picture of the three of us with our shirts off.
Exactly.
And you tell us that peptides don't work. And then you take a picture of everybody that works for me.
Yep.
And my entire family and my entire friend group network from 2 years ago to now.
Yep.
I guarantee you just my friend group, the people that I can actually go up, they have lost somewhere in the range of 4 tons of fat.
Exactly.
And
20.
Yeah,
awesome,
20 in 3 weeks. My tattoo artist that flew in from Germany to do my arm and now apparently everybody in my company is getting tattooed. She has to fly back.
It was a working requirement.
Yeah, of course. But she literally was in a very depressed state when I got first getting tattooed from her I was in Colorado at Elysium and she was a cover-up specialist and I wanted to get my old gross tattoos covered up. And she heard me talking all day long. So it was a work day when I was there. And all I did is in my earbuds in, I talked for 12 fucking hours. And she was so annoyed. She kept on being like, she tapped me to stop talking so she could pull a line. So anyway, at the end of the day, when I finally take the damn things out, she talks to me, she's like, oh, you peptides all. And she's like, I used to be a power lifter. And she had put on like over 140 pounds of weight because she was in an abusive relationship and everything going on. She said, Brad, I can't get out of it. I literally grabbed my backpack when I left. I said, hey, I'm going to give you a couple of things. Check these out. Her mom calls me the next day. And I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble with mom from Germany. And she's like, why do you give my daughter those? I go, she just seemed sad and she needs some help. And I thought that I would be able to give her help. What are you asking for? I go, nothing. I'm just giving them to her. She said, you gave those to my daughter for free. She goes, what's your angle? I go, nothing. Maybe she gives me a good tattoo, but I think that's why I came to her in the first place. And she literally starts bawling. She goes, me and my daughter cried last night. It's just no one's been that generous. But you fast forward past that. That's when I met her about 6-7 months ago. She showed up at my house from Germany. I put her up at my house for a month. I said, hey, when can I do it? She goes, I don't have any money right now. It's pretty bad in Germany. I said, let's help each other. I go, I'll guarantee you 15 grand cash. I'll find you some other appointments. I'll fly out, pay for your ticket out. I'll build you a tattoo studio downstairs in my extra room. You can take her all the food. I have a car for you. You can take around. I'll cover everything. Just come out. I'll still pay you. I'll give you $1,500 a day to do my work because she normally charges more than that. And I go, I think is that, yeah. And now I'm here. It's easier for me too. I'm like, is that fair? And she's, that's the nicest thing ever. So I said, okay, we got a deal. So when I picked her up at the airport, she lost 88 pounds.
Wow.
I've been shipping stuff to her and her mom in
Germany.
You tell me peptides don't work.
Yeah.
And hi, man.
It's literally insane.
Literally, the woman's crying to me that she has nothing. She's like depressed and she can't do anything. 6 months later, she's back. And by the way, she had never worked out. She started working out. She was here for a month. She went to the gym with me every single morning. Now, all I see on my damn feet is her fucking pumped at the gym. She's back in. I love it.
All right, I'm going to give you guys one word and you guys start. Bobby, I'm going to talk about Clotho.
I'm not the right guy for that.
That's the right answer.
No, but what is your experience with Clotho? What do you think of Clotho? You've got Bob, you've got Jackie's been using it. Obviously, Tony's using it. Lots of people are using it.
I haven't been on it. I've been on and off of it because I went on my trip. I wasn't allowed to take anything. But everyone I know that has used it, it's amazing. And they just feel better. A lot of them are getting off some of the stimulants there. And that's where it's actually helped me because I've been able to get off my stimulants. And even though I still crave those things, I haven't had the psychological effects like the withdrawal symptoms. But to be honest, I'm the wrong guy to get real detailed into it.
Okay.
The science behind it's amazing.
Dr. Trevor Bachmeyer.
Con artist. Come on. He's not a doctor.
Yeah.
And you're going to get me in trouble. Because actually, my first video is going to get me in trouble. Yeah. But dude, this is the thing. The guy just screams at everything. He finds anything that he can do just to rip apart something off of one or two findings he finds in an encyclopedia from the 80s or 90s, which are not relevant. Hey, I'm going to start teaching you medical from the 1980 Harvard Journal. You're like, Harvard Journal, that's great, but 1988, you're too far behind. So the guy he's not a doctor, he was a chiropractor. He lost his license for, I believe, sexual harassment.
Yes.
He then decided to get across. He's in great shape. Congratulations. Yep. That's good. That's good. But he decided to loop over himself over and over in the CrossFit games during COVID, completely cheating, and was removed and banned from the sport.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're talking about a guy that does not have a really good track record, and it probably goes on and
It's
on.
not more public.
Oh, it's public.
People are just sheep.
They are sheep. But just to continue, because I've already publicly said this, you already know the story. You know the story. Somebody in his audience who was very ashamed to tell me this because they were taken by him, were conned by him. When he was in Northern California as a chiropractor before he got disbarred, he also made up a cancer diagnosis.
Oh, yes. I did know about this.
It's 100% true. And I even confirmed it. And it was actually in the local news, but it was a GoFundMe or one of those campaigns to generate revenue for his fake cancer diagnosis. When it was found out that he didn't have cancer, he literally left the state of California, went to Texas, and reinvented himself, and then bought a bunch of fake followers because all of his followers are fake. You can look at his engagement. It's completely fake.
Still leaning into
Completely.
Yes. He's
That's sad.
Completely fake. Yeah, he's almost demonic. But again, people are going to do what people are going to do.
Well, but the problem with what he's doing, aside from the fact that I just think all that's bad juju to begin with, but you have to remember that if people are just flipping aimlessly, which anybody that just sits there and does this for hours, you find something else to do. Make yourself better. There's nothing wrong with a little entertainment. You need to zone out, but the people that do it for a long time is a problem because you're not doing anything good for your brain.
Exactly.
But you come across this guy and he is, I'll tell you why.
Screaming.
Screaming. And then he goes into all these little caveats of things that he read or he searched on ChatGPT. And then someone's sitting there going, oh my God, I've been using Glow or Clo or Wolverine, all this. And go, has this been fake this whole time? He's ruining the industry.
Exactly. He's caused so many problems.
You know what I think
500 phone calls and emails from that guy.
You know what
from that guy's posts.
What I think is more dangerous about him, just talking to a couple of my associates that are just getting the game that follow both of you guys, is he talks in way too many absolutes.
Yes.
Every peptide does everything.
He does.
Right?
Yeah.
Every peptide, and he doesn't talk about, if you listen to him, dude, why do I need to ever take any other peptide than this one?
Yeah.
He doesn't talk about any of their limitations. He doesn't talk about not that there's negatives, but any of the downsides to it, right? Just, it's like almost too good to be true.
Here's his biggest issue. Like, I've constantly gone on his page because I've seen his misinformation. And I'm like, Trevor, why don't you and I have a debate about peptides? We can talk about anything. We can televise it. We can put it on YouTube. We can put it on Instagram, whatever. We'll do it live. Let's go. You got to back this up. And he refuses to acknowledge anyone.
Have you and him ever had a conversation?
No, he refuses. But I've commented a lot of times on his thing. I've had hundreds of likes of my comments on his page for people who are like, yeah, dude, we would like to see Jay Campbell and Trevor Bachmeyer. But he's not going to do it because at the end of the day, he is a fraud. And like you said, he's literally reading.
He's not going to do it because he can't be in front of a screen when he does.
Exactly. He doesn't have real knowledge.
Yeah, I actually did.
We shouldn't have, listen, you know what? We're wasting our time talking about it.
No, but I'm actually glad that we did do this because I told Trevor 5 months ago that I wanted to put this out there because he refuses to debate and now get an intelligent conversation. But yeah, he is exposed. That's completely.
And then you're going to see this one of the challenge.
Yep.
So if you decide to comment on one,
let's go.
You might as well comment on the other. And if you like, I could be the idiot that's not a doctor since you're a doctor. I could be third party.
He used
like
to be a doctor.
He wasn't. Chiropractors are not doctor. I love chiropractors. They're great. They broke my neck.
Chiropractor.
Anyway, you know what? I'll tell you this. I'll let him challenge my operations manager that works with Kristen Kemp. And Kristen Kemp has no science education. I'll challenge her that she can actually answer more questions about peptides accurately
than he can.
So I'll get to my operations team just from learning from our scientists and talking to them every day. I bet you those two ladies will be able to know more about actual chemistry and natural science and API and how things work better than you. Two women with no education in that form. Let's see, buddy. Let's see if you, I know you don't want to challenge him, but how about two lovely ladies that are my operations?
It'd be awesome. Trevor, we're inviting you, bro. It's time.
Yeah. And then you can have someone be the judge.
All right,
you can pick the judge.
I want to talk about FLGR 242.
No, I got to pick what you talk about. You picked what we talk about. Okay, I want you to talk about FLGR.
You pick me. Is that what I'm talking about?
Yes, you can. I know you want it.
Pick me. He
gives you a hard one.
So FLGR 242 is a revolutionary recombinant follistatin. Trevor can get into the details of him using the original follistatin 314. But anyway, old school follistatin had a very short half-life. And for all of you guys on the internet that keep attacking the people that are talking about FLGR 242, it's a completely different molecule, right? It has a 19-day albumin binding construct, which develops or creates a PK, a pharmacokinetic curve that somewhere is super effective, like between 12 and 19 days, right? When you inject this, it stays elevated in the blood, in the plasma for a long time.
Slow releases instead of a shot.
I've been using it now for close to 17 weeks. In fact, 17 weeks was yesterday. Brian Moscow, the gorilla chemist, has been using it for 16 weeks. Matt Christman's been using it for 16 weeks. How long have you been using it for?
I started end of October.
So you've been the same. You're like 16, 17
My
weeks.
My team's been using it.
Trevor and I took a picture of ourselves. Both of us have put on, at a minimum, 10 pounds of skeletal mass, measurable, and actually lost, 2 or 3% body fat at a minimum? We're both 6% in that picture today.
So I actually use this. I use the normal InBody, and it always says 3%.
Somewhat off, yeah.
But this was my weight. I'm 235, 232, 237. This was my weight, 251.
That's insane. Yeah. So definitely 10 pounds. And today, and I don't have my scale to show me, but I weighed this morning at the gym in the hotel at the Penry. They have a gym. I literally went down there to weigh myself. Completely dehydrated, not eating anything until we ate that giant meal. But again, I've been telling people.
Go ahead, finish.
I just want to say, I've been telling people this, and I proved it today, and I'm doing a photo shoot in 3 days. But I am the biggest and leanest I've ever been, and I'm literally 4 days.
You are bigger. I've worked out with you a lot over the last few months.
5 days from turning 50.
I've worked out with you enough to notice. I don't want Bobby to go, and then I want to talk about those things that people should know about this product.
No, and it's a controlled study. Like you're not going to change anything else you're doing.
I have not changed my diet.
This is so important for everyone to hear. Here's what I think is different about us, right? I watch people be so hyperbolic and exaggerate, right?
Yes, of course.
The numbers we're talking about, they sound exaggerated because they are almost unreal.
They're not.
But I've seen it with everyone in my organization. I told you my cousin Jeffrey, I need 9 pounds of muscle. Her husband Tony.
In 8 weeks.
Yeah, it's crazy.
9 pounds.
The best part about this too, we're actually going to do a real IRB human trial where we get no say in this.
We're in the process of it.
That's what I'm saying. I paid the check today.
Awesome.
Don't worry, you're getting the other half of the bill.
It's fine.
But I'm saying that literally Kyle sent the bill, Dean approved it, so we're paying him. So that thing's going live. So real quick before we get into that, I want to talk something about
Keep going, yeah.
People see it says albumin binder. I want everybody to know very quickly that before that becomes a buzzword like psychodextrin or anything else, it is extremely dangerous if anybody decides to do this and does not know what they're doing.
You will fuck yourself up.
The reason why peptides have always been so safe, and that's why we're applying for a patent on this product, because you have to prove safety. But when you do that, peptides go in and out very quickly, and there's no time to really cause harm. Just like by taking vitamins in your system, you piss them out. There's no harm. Now, when you attach something that's going to drag it through your system for 19 days, if there are side effects, you're dragging those side effects along for 19 days. Now, I am not the chemist, but Mike Farr, the chemist that did this, he is very specific that he really engineered this to only attach to the areas of the body that develop muscle when it comes to skeletal muscle mass, and not to activin, which is what would grow your heart.
Or the aortic valve.
He was just educating me on that earlier.
Yeah, which is extremely important to say.
Yes.
Now, the other thing that's important to say is for those of people that tried follistatin, the other ones, ACE, follistatin 344, whatever it might be. And we're like, oh my God, it didn't work. And there's no pain with this product. There was so much pain by injecting a protein, follistatin's a protein, by the way, into the body. And you had to do it intermuscularly because if you actually put it in fat, the slow release would actually attach to activin and could cause heart problems. So you had to do intramuscularly to get it through the body quick enough. Now, in doing so, you would create this massive histamine response and you would get a welt, sometimes so bad for a week you couldn't sit down. But it did work. But then again, if you didn't know what you were doing because you actually don't know the science of how follistatin works with insulin sensitivity, all those things, you weren't actually getting the benefit. Because it is so short, the way that follistatin worked, you couldn't just say, oh, I'm going to do follistatin. You would have to eat 100 grams of carbs. You needed to have an insulin dump, glucose in the system for it to activate. So you'd eat 100 grams of carbs, go to the gym, inject yourself on the way to the gym. You have about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on your blood flow. Then you'd have to go pump as much iron as you could. Then you get out and you eat a massive amount of carbs again. Otherwise, it just wouldn't do anything. Whereas the new product, you don't have to do all that. That long acting allows you to eat like a normal human being. However, if you do eat it, and we're finding out right now, because we're through the test for 3 months, look at what we did. Now we're in the, well, what if we do take it every single day and we just keep the blood level? There's no arc. Then we'd always we're doing this motion now at the top.
Like testosterone.
It's literally, to your point, I don't want to steal it. It's shredding fat and building muscle at the same time. And so, as he said, you have to actually eat 1.5 to 1.75, your maintenance calories a day to actually put size on. It's that effective at burning fat. So like this product, as we were saying today, in 3 to 6 months is going to revolutionize performance enhancement itself, because women, which we haven't talked about, who use a very tiny microdose just monthly, way less than a daily dose that we're talking about, can minimize muscle loss on GLP. Exactly. So you're going to be able to use a smaller, call it microdose version of FLGR242, again, recombinant follistatin, to completely avoid and minimize muscle loss on GLPs, which is the number one side effect of GLP use.
Yeah. One thing important to let the listener know, because everyone's going to try to mimic, the only place you can get it from.
It's only...
It's not real. If it's not from BioLongevity or Alpha Biomed, it's not real.
It's 100% not real. The patent is held by Mike, and we are the authorized.
You guys added a lot of value. Yeah. Listen, Jay was telling me, I remember the day
he did talk to Mike. He didn't listen to me until now.
I always listen to him. I always believe him.
Right.
I trust him, but I don't believe him.
Exactly.
Yes. I get what you're saying.
I learned enough.
Do not expect what you don't inspect.
I learned enough to know when Jay says something, even if I don't agree with it, that I better go down that road, because he's a visionary. He's probably right. So when he told me how big this was, I was like, if it's 1/10, as big as it is, we're not going to be in a great situation. Now I'm
like, holy fuck.
The crazy part about this is I'm as big as I was bodybuilding when I was prepping to go for classic physique. And I'm not trying to do it. I went on vacation for over 2 weeks straight, didn't hit a gym, literally just ate like crap and drank every single day. I got leaner. I came back. I was the same weight, held every piece of muscle mass on.
When I saw you yesterday,
you were like, holy shit.
You look great.
Yeah.
And you didn't gain it. Like, your face looks good too.
Hey, this is a game changer.
At the gene therapies, the follistatin gene therapy shots, I went and spent the 50 grand. I went and did that with Dr. Khan. I like Dr. Khan. He's a very intelligent guy. But when I did it, I don't want to say I didn't feel anything, but it was insignificant.
Compared to this.
When you factor in that cost versus this cost, this is something the whole world
you can run it for the next 10 years.
I did that 3 years ago, and maybe I came back and I felt a little stronger, but didn't see anything.
You didn't see it. Yeah.
But dude, when I was doing it, I actually had to pull back on it a little bit, because I didn't want to get that. I didn't want to get that. I don't want to have that look, right?
No. But and you know, the find out what body type you are, because everybody's different body type. And find the median of what is actually possible for your body type. Because if you try and look with my muscle mass, but you're 5'5", you're going to be a bowling ball. You don't want to do that.
Or is it? And Jay, this is a good question I thought about. Because when you do the gene therapy follistatin injection, couldn't that be more dangerous? Because
it's way more dangerous.
Way more
what we're doing.
100%.
And the cost is crazy.
I know that people are paying $250 grand for it at one point down in Cabo and shit like that. In fact, I know a really good doctor, Dr. John Lake. He is a personal friend.
Like I said, I don't think
genius.
When I think it's what their cost.
No, but
I think they're good.
He's very into that clotho, all the gene therapies for that. I can't wait to pick his brain. He just actually opened another facility in Newport. So I got to talk.
Well, none of those guys even can comprehend this, because they look at this and they see what we're charging for, and they're like, wait a minute, we're charging 25 to 50 to 100x what you guys are charging. It can't be real. And so that's what they don't understand yet, is that Mike is a genius and he went the opposite way of what most people in the pharma. And so by doing this, he's now opened this entire, basically call it drug delivery pathway that more people are going to look into. But with good news for us is that we're first out.
Yeah. And like we said, before we're going to go dump hundreds of thousands of dollars on human. I'm just saying on these first set of trials, we're all the guinea pigs. And that's what makes this risk of we like the risk. We all testing, we're all sitting there going, we need to really put this through something that's not controlled by us. So it's not just us talking about it. So get ready. I would say by April, May, after
for sure trials, by June, for sure.
Yeah. Hopefully then we can start putting out some numbers. If they are even half of what we are saying, let's listen to the podcast.
Well, I will say this because you know this now after I told you last night. And again, I'm N of 1 and I'm 6 days into this experiment. But we have been doing this as either twice or once every 2 weeks or once every 1 week.
Yeah, I've been doing it once every Friday. And I've missed a couple due to just I was on the road and I forgot. I lost the bottle.
But as you now know, I have been experimenting. Today's day 6 of every single day dose, and it's dramatically my body.
I'm going to start that today and see.
As I told you today in the car, 10 days from now, you're going to send me a pic of yourself and be like, "Bro, what is going on?"
Yeah, I'm almost at the point where it's like I want to just walk on stage for a show and not do anything and just see if I can win.
Insane, dude.
Every morning he sends me a different screenshot with their name blacked out because he won't share who it is.
It's incredible.
Another person on it.
It's going to revolutionize the world. I really honestly think that it's going to revolutionize the world.
Well, we need to wait. He's got a celebrity.
I know.
We need to talk right now too about lepto-3GR. So this is the super retitrutide. I think people need to understand that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Lilly and Novo and a couple other major pharmaceutical giants now are basically, through their lobby and their attorneys, they're basically safeguarding, if not blocking, GLP pathways moving forward.
They're basically going to buy every route of delivery so that you have to buy them from one of the players.
And we're creating other things.
Small molecules.
Before you guys talk about this, I think we should publicly say none of us are suicidal. So if we end up dead because of some of the things we're doing.
I am the happiest I've ever been.
I'm in the healthiest.
I'm the healthiest as a horse. So if I die of some weird thing like hanging myself.
Here's our point. Like, we all hear, and man, got to give Jay credit. Like, to me, first of all, the reason I was drawn to him is I love his freaking authenticity.
Yeah. Told him that when I first met him.
Love the dude.
You did.
He's real.
But, and one of the things, sometimes when he would speak, I'm like, man, that's hyperbolic or it's a conspiracy theory. But look, everything he's saying, he's been right about. Like this big farm. And the closer I get to, I'm like, holy shit, how is pharma? How are we not allowed to, how are these things not available to everyone? Right? It's crazy.
I think that we saw today a little bit, and hopefully Marty's able to do this, but Marty put out that if it's considered safe, like we do safety
over
studies,
the counter, baby,
and it's not addictive, everything should be sold over the counter. Why would you lock it up?
Yep.
There's no problem. Now, it doesn't mean that you could walk and go pull it off the shelf, but over the counter means you could walk up to a pharmacist and say, hi, Marty, the head of the FDA. He goes, it should be at least across the counter. Maybe at the show an ID, maybe it have to be 18, 21. It doesn't matter, but you shouldn't need to see a doctor. So I could walk into a pharmacist and say, hi, I'd like to buy some follistatin, for instance. It's safety. They're going to be pissed. So hopefully he doesn't end up dead.
It ain't going to happen because unless Trump and RFK by companies.
But right now, this is our best chance to get this. And hopefully it happened. But imagine if you can go and say, yes, I'd like to buy. And they go, great. And they pull up your ID and look at it and they go,
fine.
And they go, okay, yeah, you're allowed 2 bottles a month.
You're a discerning, constructive adult.
No problem. You're
allowed
adult.
to buy this. Exactly.
Here's your 2 bottles this month. And it's logged.
Yeah.
And you can go in there and be like, great, I'm going to start using this because I want to improve my life. I want to put on some muscle mass. I want to be healthier. Now, that is how it should work. And by doing so, you take away the ability for people to basically steer your boat for your health. You get to control your own health.
You protect the consumer from buying all this gray market carbon.
Correct.
Which we were afraid in November was going to happen.
If the government would move quick and tax and regulate the industry without shutting it down, they would make more money and we'd have a healthier.
You don't need to take bribes.
And the cost of Medicare.
Take my taxes.
But let's be honest, we did not talk about this and we need to. And the truth is, and getting back to this discussion about how many people are selling fake peptides, there needs to be better regulation. There needs to be.
I'm writing documents for the Senate.
Exactly. But if everybody in the United States was forced to purchase from, say, 3 or 4 different manufacturers, who are all greenlit, and they were all under this guidance of, okay, they're constantly checked, they're constantly verified, independent verification, COAs, endotoxin, polysaccharides, et cetera, then we would have no risk. And the problem right now is like what you said to me like 4 months ago, fentanyl TrueTide eventually is going to make itself into the market because there are so many scammers selling bullshit peptides. And so that does have to be regulated. So we're really not against big pharma in their mindset of control, but what we're asking for is a regular leveled playing field.
And yeah, good luck. But yes, that's what we're hoping for. And hopefully they just don't get in there, because Merck is patenting like thousands of different peptides, which shouldn't even be legal.
It's totally illegal.
Right? You can't peptide.
Well, just like lamipretide, they already just made a patent for SS31. What kind of nonsense is that?
So I actually spent a lot of time with the patent attorney on that one. What it is, actual raw version of SS31 is still available, but what you get when it's modified for the intake, for the carrier is patent from Stealth Pharmaceuticals. And they basically yanked it off the table. So I'm going to reverse engineer it and just make the original again and say, here is the real SS31 natural.
Yeah.
And then they can't come after me because it's going to pull different on that spec.
It's crazy how big of a selling peptide that was. Because again, it's an amplifier mitochondria.
I think I was the first person to put that on the market. I put that on years ago.
Yeah, it's an amazing peptide.
Because I remember when I launched MOT-C, people were like, what's that?
Yeah.
And then SS31 was the second mitochondrial. I guess NAD is mitochondrial as well. But that's a technical enzyme. It's not even a peptide. But SS31 was next. And now we have so many. So now we got humanin.
Yep.
We got ATX 304.
Yep.
I made BAM 15 that we're going to try. Oh, I got to get that for you. That we're going to start testing out. I did it in a small dose. Be very careful with BAM. If you read things, it says 2 to 3 weeks tops. It also says 200 milligrams. But if you do off of mouse models, but that's not how it works for a human. You don't just times it by the kilogram.
It's not extrapolating.
It really works out to about 25 milligrams a day.
Yeah.
So we're going to do probably a 45 count.
Yeah.
So you can do 1 or 2 a day, no longer than 1 bottle. So that's probably where you should do and take a break.
Yeah.
But on limited energy.
Oh yeah. Like you said, BAM is for people who are about to compete.
That's what it's for.
Doing some sort of performance enhancement from an actual event. And they just need that last 2 or 3 weeks to just get there.
Yeah.
But it definitely will do a lot of uncoupling, which over time, if you do it for too long, could lead to bad.
Jake, can I ask?
Yeah, of course.
Because I already know the answer. He's right. He's coming out with a book. Right.
Yeah. But the newest book is called Metabolic Awakening with GLP Peptide.
What I love the most is he's writing a book on our superhuman protocol.
Yeah.
Which is the stuff we're talking about. The world is lucky that guys like you, and I'm a part of it, but you guys are the leaders, is bringing these things to the market. Because even if we get shut down, the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're going to benefit. The rest of the human race is going to benefit from it. But his second book is on the 4, I don't know, miracle molecules or whatever they're going to call it.
Yeah, but that's kind of.
Why don't you talk about that? I think if you're only going to take 4 or 5 things, what they would be.
So this is going to be great for all of us, and especially for the world, obviously at large. But basically, we hired a ghostwriter. He's like one of the best ghostwriters in the world. And you know me, I'm a writing Nazi, so I'm against hiring ghostwriters because I usually do this myself. But my 2 copywriters and me, my brain's tapped out. We just wrote a fucking 750-page book with 1,400 citations. It took us 8 months, 0 AI, right? Bobby came to me.
A lot of spelling errors, by the way.
Dude, Bobby came 2 months ago, or maybe 6 weeks ago, and he was like, bro, I have this idea. He just came out.
Probably the worst day when he was so stressed.
But he was, I was stressed.
Brain burn.
He did some ceremonies, and he's like, bro, I have this idea. And he was like, we need to hire a ghostwriter to write a book about these new products, Mike's products. And I'm like, at first I was in resistance because I'm like, I'm not hiring somebody to do it when I can do it. And then I started thinking about it, and I literally texted him the next day, and I was like, Bobby, this is the greatest idea you've ever given me.
Sometimes you got to hand over the keys,
bro. 100%. But the guy that we hired is the company. His name is Greg Reed, and he's a very famous guy. He runs a company down here in San Diego called Secret Knock. And they're literally like the world's foremost ghostwriter for A-list celebrities, entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneurs, Gary V's. These are the people that write those.
They're doing a book on me. I have no idea why anybody would ever pick it.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Okay, so do you actually know Greg? You know him?
No, I have a different guy doing it.
Okay, so these guys.
I'm like, who's going to want my book?
I did an interview with this guy and his ghostwriter, and Mike Farber was on there too, and then my copywriter, and they spun me in such a direction. They were like, look, man, the products are great, but nobody gives a shit about the products. We have to sell an image of why people would want to use these products.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're the guy.
Yeah.
You have this philosophy. You taught people about hormones. You taught people about peptides. You're 55. You have a 6-pack. Like, Your wife is ripped. Like, we can sell you guys as an image. So like I told him I was initially against it because I'm like, I don't want to have my ego in this. This is about the products. And he's like, no, bro. People have to have a personification of what the products will do. And you're the
got to have
that can sell.
Yes, you have to remember, people will. Did you ever remember back in the day, like baseball cards and everything like that?
Of course.
You look at the baseball cards,
baby.
yeah, and you're like, oh my God, this is so great. You look at the stats on the back and all that stuff. You're like, I want to be a baseball player, but it was just baseball card. At some point, you got to, but you don't really go that far yet. Then when you watch someone that actually plays, that's the inspiration to get there.
Exactly.
I saw a picture of Bobby last year. Yep. Dude has more striations through his ribcage than Rocky did in Rocky 1. Yep. When people sit down and go, holy shit, that's them seeing the action. And that's what it needs to be. The book needs to do the action.
Exactly.
Where did you come from? What did you do? How did you do it? What did you screw up on? What didn't work for you? Because people are going to run those roadblocks. I tell people all the time, I go, we're all genetically different. What works for me is not going to work for you all the time. What works for me might work better for you. You've got to get your own brain and really focus and pay attention to your body.
And where we are today, and we talked about this morning while we were lifting together, right after you left, is like, you have to be a living demonstration, because so many people today are full of shit. And they talk about things and they're fat, or they don't look good, or they're not, like, again, a demonstration or a representation of all the things you're talking about. So it's like, all of us literally are walking the talk and talking the talk.
I tell people that the whole time. I go, if you can go see your doctor that's 80 pounds overweight and you can listen to him about your health, or you can talk to me who actually cares and has read 30 books in the last 5 years compared to the doctor that read the last book 30 years ago and actually pays attention and finding all the new information. I don't know about you. I don't need to be a doctor to be an expert. The doctor means I went to school for 8 or 10 years, which very hard, and salute to them for doing that. They had to put a lot of time. You know what that proves to me? They're committed.
Exactly.
But you know what else is committed? The look of the person's body that put it there. 100%. And I'll show you the fat picture of me if you want to. This wasn't just natural. It came to me easy. And if you talk to anybody at all, people always like, is peptides? They're like, it's peptides. Fucker gets up every day, spends the time.
Just tools.
You got to put the time in.
You have to be diligent. You have to understand what is it that you ultimately desire.
But we also said 10 years ago, or even 2 years ago,
it couldn't be like this.
You couldn't look like this and eat the way we want.
Not like this. No.
We have taken one of the hardest parts of looking good and being fit out, which was the diet.
Exactly.
When I do a bodybuilding show, going to the gym and pressing weights around, easy. Let's see it in the mirror, easy.
Yep.
Telling me I'm only allowed to eat 800 effing calories and I have to drink 3 gallons of water a day.
Very hard.
Psychologically effed up.
Yep.
That's the hard part. And guess what? You don't have to go through that. Enjoy your life. Don't be a shitbag and eat Doritos all day long.
It's just to amplify what he just said. It's never been easier to walk around as a 50-year-old plus man or woman with a 6-pack and still enjoy your life. You don't have to live Spartan. You don't have to count your calories. You don't have to eat this fucking insane diet.
How do you feel? Forget how you look. How do you feel energy-wise now compared to when you were in your 30s?
Way better. Biomarkers are better.
Forget that, though.
No, but that's a measure of health. My inflammatory markers now are better than they were when I was in my 20s.
There's the thing is, I don't think people, and I wish we could put our brains, our heads, and other people realize how good they can feel.
Exactly. We don't. They
walk around. They're like, "This is life."
Like for me, I wake up earlier than I ever have.
Yeah.
I go to bed later than I should, and I don't sit around all day long being like, "Fuck, I need to stop by and pick up an energy," because I feel good.
Exactly.
Dude, we spend our first, let's say, 30, 40 years getting wisdom, right?
Yeah.
And then the problem is, at that point, most people, when they're that age, they don't have the energy to execute on that wisdom.
Exactly.
To go live life.
Yeah. Exactly.
So now things are changing. That's what I love about this. Fuck, how stupid were we our first 40 years of life? How many mistakes we all make? Look at my last year, what I just went through.
Yeah.
Personal decisions, the business decisions. Yep. Now we have all this fucking wisdom and we have the energy.
Exactly.
And it looks like we're going to have the life and health span.
Exactly.
That's what's exciting about this, right?
So exactly.
But Jay, that's why the book, that's why it's important. The book is, and in that book, you need to say that like you can feel like you're in your 20s.
Exactly. You can look and feel and act as if you're in your 20s. And again, aging is literally a mindset. Don't say I'm 55 years old, say I'm 55 years young. It's how you think about
Sanji said that the other day.
I feel better now than I was in my 20s, but it's just amazing. I think I heard Tony Robbins or someone said, for the people that are going to live the next 5 years, or Elon Musk was in an interview, the lifespan's going to be so long, it's crazy.
And extending your life is one thing. Extending your health and the enjoyment of your life is different. Exactly. I plan on looking this until my heart or
100%,
lungs or kidneys just go out.
100%.
So I'm going to ride this all the way till.
What age do you think that will be?
I think I croak at 82.
Why?
Because I just burn the candle at both ends.
Yeah,
burn twice as bright, burn out twice as fast. But if I can ride this wave, if I am still mobbing around the planet, jumping off of freaking cliff dives, scuba diving, I don't care if I get to 82 and that's it. Because you know what? I have lived my life like I was going to die since I was probably 14. When I was 14, I was freaking sneaking out and going raving up in LA.
That's all. That's why we all got where we are. We all live like
that. Is where it started. And I rode that wave. I was looked at as the black sheep of all the friends who's voted least likely to probably be the most successful. Everybody looks at the guys that they come from the better homes and stuff like that. Oh, they're going to be like, oh, these little Trevor's. Yeah, he's great. A little wild. But that wildness wasn't a mistake. It's just, I enjoyed it. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
I just wanted to enjoy it.
It's the rebels like you, like us, that change the world. Yeah. It's not the people that straight A students. It's not the people that.
No, but I have a lot of them that work for me.
Exactly. They call them disruptors. You got to have some balls to be a disruptor.
A students work for B managers or for C owners.
Right. Yeah.
Although I did have decent grades. But I will say this, though, it's pretty funny. And my mom will vouch for me. When I got into high school, my grandma was such a huge part of my life. Because when I was growing up, I was adopted by my father and all that. And I didn't have a lot of time with my parents. And I never met my father, for instance. So I lived a long time with my grandmother. She was, talk about a woman that just loved me to death. She would punch her husband, which was not my grandfather, in the face if he said one negative thing or whatever. She just stuck up. She was such a strong woman.
Nice.
And I remember that we didn't sit there and do nothing. I wanted to go to Chuck E. Cheese. You got to play 4 rounds. You have to play chess with me till you win. That's the game.
That's awesome.
But you had to use your brain. And I would have to learn a chapter out of an algebra book to go out and play.
It's awesome.
That's why I'm so good at math. So I remember my freshman year of high school, I went in and they're like, what you've done in the past does not count for here. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go in my first algebra class. I walk in, I get the test like 3 weeks or 4 weeks in, we have a test. And I just look at us. I'm like, this is so fucking stupid. I learned this when I was like 8 years old. So I just wrote the answers to every single one of them, not a single bit of work, all in my head. I turn this in. Everyone is still doing their ish. I walk out next day. I get hauled in. They're going to expel me. My mom had to go in and say, give him another test. Have him take it right here. I did it again. I fucking aced the next test. Yeah. And I didn't want one fucking note in there. And they're like, all right, let the kid in.
It's good that for you, personal advice, it's good that because you weren't on social media at all. It's good you started that. You started just about when you and I met.
That was one of the things when we did
what I want to tell you is like, dude, so many people, because dude, what's great about you, man, is you can be out and about and you're normal and you're actually the life of the party. But then when you on social media and you talk, people are like, holy shit, man. Like the dude is really intelligent. Like how do you think he got where the fuck he is? Why do you think Jay and I do business with him?
Yeah.
He's not just a wild dude.
Yeah, no.
He's got a good dude.
I just like him for his chest separation. That's all.
Yes. Honestly, the universe pulls the right people.
I remember when he first met you, he called me. He said, dude, you got to meet this dude. He goes, you're going to like him.
Yeah.
In Vegas, right?
Yeah. The true story is like I met him in Vegas like it'll be in December. It'll be 2 years ago. He just walked up and introduced himself to me. He's super unassuming, modest guy. Yeah, amazing physique. And then saw him again in Vegas again next year and then said hi to him. And again, he's like, hey, I'm Alpha Biomag. I was doing Limitless stuff at that point. And then obviously last summer we launched BLL and we met him at Seeds Conference. And then we really got close. We partied, hung out, met a lot of his troops and everything. 1 week later, just out of the blue, Anchor messages me because he had messaged me back in November and was like, because we were in the Sean Michael Kelly mastermind. And he was like, hey, man, they asked me about being in the peptide thing. And I was like, it's a great idea, but we're just launching the company. We got expenses. It doesn't make any sense. And so he got back to me because they could see that we were doing pretty well. You know what? Let me think about it. I talked to these guys and they were like, man, it might be a risky thing. I'm like, you know what? I think I have the right idea. I think I'm going to call me Trevor. And he's let me think about it. And he thought about it for 15 fucking minutes and called me back and said, I'm in. I had no idea.
That was a long thought.
None of us had any idea what it was going to even cost.
So you want to change the world with me?
And on my mind, like, there's no way he's going to come up with the money after making a decision that quick. I'm like, this dude's a piker. There's no way. Yeah. But you were all talking.
Yep. Literally, we were like, we're going to change the world with this. And obviously Anchor, to give them credit, we didn't know Jason at the time. It was Anchor's vision, and he sold this to us. And you guys read everything, and he's really good at putting shit together and storyboarding and stuff. But I was like, if there's anybody to do this whose life stories are in the arc to actually bring this to reality, it's you and me. You know? And
these guys had been, you, by the way, you guys should be thanking the hell out of him, because these guys were begging me to get on social media since the beginning. I refuse. I'm like, I'm not doing it. I will not do it. I've never had social media. I just won't do it. And because I've never been on social media.
Easy, yeah.
Never been on it. I didn't even know what Instagram looked like.
Why him and I aren't active on, because that's how we always got caught cheating. Okay. So you got,
don't give away my secret. Now, now I have a fucking lovely girlfriend, and she's got a beautiful child. I'm very lucky. But no, it was one of those things. Everybody I've met has been organic. You actually had to walk up, talk to them.
Yeah, 100%.
There was no like, hey, I shot him a DM or an IM or a whatever M it is.
Hey, thank God they have social media when we grew up.
Thank God they didn't have cell phones. Like a camera phone, I would be in prison for all the good things.
I think about that, what he just said. There's only been one person in my life that I've met online that is still like close. Think about Matt, right? Like I literally Chris Orzakowski introduced Matt to me in a moment of desperation. And 5 years later, because I was in 2021, here we are.
And he's the best, man.
An unbelievable person.
What?
I can't picture, I was trying to buy a company that he worked with. He was an affiliate with.
Yep. And I just kept making more money for the company.
And I kept telling him,
you're a dumb fuck.
Him and their chief operating officer, I was like, dude, you guys got to leave. We got to start our own company. Or you guys got to start it when you're ready.
For 2 years, he tried to talk us out of it. But you know what? When you're making million fucking plus,
you guys are going forward with the telehealth, right?
You can't walk away.
I got to learn more about it.
We're going to probably start a merchant processor. So
he's talking about telehealth.
Yeah.
For every.
Well, we need to do one because it keeps us very clean and separated.
If you need a partner.
By the way, do we want to talk about Peptide Palooza?
Oh my God. Okay. So we got to talk to Kim. She's reaching out to us
yesterday.
I know. And I just was so busy with everything. Yeah. Let's talk about that tonight. Let's give her a call. She'll probably pick up the phone. The girl works like 100 hours a day. But yeah, so listen, I've left the month open to do it still. She says we can still do it. I think it would sell out in a heart.
I do too, but end of September.
If you guys want to do next year, we can look at next year.
I mean, next year would probably make the most sense.
But we got to
we have to start selling it.
We have to lock it in so that because you know how it is, you're going to keep kicking the can down the street knowing that you haven't put anything in. As soon as we go, here's my $25,000 deposit. That's when everybody on my team goes, my mentality of being poor as a kid comes in. I'm not wasting $25,000. I'm going to sell this thing now. I wouldn't do it. I'm not spending the money on Apple. My $300 HP works just fine. And now I'm like, Jesus, this really makes my life so much simpler.
Exactly.
He finally got me a crack.
They just got me onto an Apple.
It's changed my life. And my work, I went from, I'm like, dude, why didn't you make me do this before?
I've been on Apple for 30 fucking years. Convinced thousands.
I hated the computers compared because it's the way this is. I didn't realize they had made it so much more adaptable. By the way, I still get frozen. I want to punch a hole in it every once in a while. But when I would definitely I'd have 100 text messages and 100 emails. It'd be 9 o'clock at night. I'd just be sitting there because you're looking at your phone. When I got on and I'm like, wait, I can see all of it right in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, I'm an idiot. This is
did that
and when my fingers get tired, I just start talking to it.
Straight.
Yes, send. Call me tomorrow.
We would make fun of him.
And knock out 100 text messages in 20 minutes.
Yeah. Dude, I start buying people. Like I'm like, dude.
My whole company is on Apple.
I like that our Switch. I'm like, dude, let me just I love that. I buy for them.
You're gonna. By the way, Bobby, no one in life has ever bought me a phone.
He's still.
But Bobby, I still use it.
It's awesome.
Except for Kevin. Kevin bought me a phone because he threw my phone 3 lanes down a freeway and it shattered. But he technically did buy me a phone as well. So I don't want to lie about that. But Bobby, literally out of the kind of start, I'm sitting at his first night we met. I'm sitting at his restaurant. We're chatting. It's just us two.
New iPhones.
And he's got this thing without the case on because it is more impressive without the case.
Yeah, really.
In my opinion. But he's got this phone and it's sitting there and I'm looking at him like, phone is disgusting. I'm like, what phone is this? So thin. He goes, oh, it's a new iPhone.
He goes, I got you one too.
Yeah, I know. He goes, yeah, you like it? I'm like, dude, this is amazing. He's like, yeah, my assistant dropped one off tomorrow. I'm like, I'll buy one. He's like, no joke. All of a sudden, there's a phone.
He gave me one too, and I gave it to some of my family.
It's funny you said that.
I have no issues with his phone, other than I do have to charge it a lot.
Oh yeah, you need to charge.
But I just keep it on my charger everywhere.
The problem is it does need charge.
There's no battery.
Does it really?
But I always carry those. I always carry.
Yeah, I
those
do.
bags.
If honestly, if you have that, you're fine. I have one of those in my backpack, and I get in my car, I plug it, I get to my thing. I always just plug it in right to my laptop anyway. I put it in, everything comes to the laptop. My phone rings, I hit answer. Text message comes in, I answer. It's so simple when you have both. There we go. No, Ramad, who you guys can't see, is sitting here, and he runs all the technology back end for our company from the beginning with Ash. Now we have a chief technologist that builds the platforms, but all the daily stuff is Ramad. And he's one of those guys that he will tell you, he goes, I do not have a sensitivity valve.
Right.
So he goes, just fucking tell me what's wrong. I won't get my feelings hurt. And that ability to do that, like you're screaming, because I'm not screaming at him, I'm screaming, this is fucking, and he's cool fixing it. Like he literally has probably done 2 million things. So
Ramon's
our
Matt Spangler.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Is he the one setting up all your telemedicine stuff?
No, that's Daniel. So Daniel's like savant. Daniel
around tonight this weekend?
No, he lives in LA and he doesn't leave. He's a vampire. No joke. I'll be sending messages at 1 a.m. on a Saturday, and he's like, still working on the program, bro. He went 36 hours straight, took a half hour building Alpha Sync to get it launched.
Really?
Yeah, the guy is programming more than anybody. But he can write code, design. I don't know. He knows everything, and he's got a personality. He can actually talk to you. A lot of those guys you can't have a conversation with. He's the guy that could literally start Google.
How'd you meet?
And I had we've all had a bad business experience. I had a really bad business experience with a company. I'm not going to name it because I don't want to bring up old things, but I put a lot of time into working with this company or they seem very interested in the peptide thing, but we can never get anything going. So I'd be going down there every week, sitting there chatting, but they would never pull the trigger to do anything. And at one point I said, hey, I need someone to help me build like our own IP. We need our own software. And I paid for it. And it wasn't getting done. Well, because the guy running the company was like robbing Peter to pay Paul. But Daniel was the guy that was doing the design work. But it was like, dude, I have all my devs on other projects. He's got me working on other stuff. So your stuff's just sitting here. But anyway, they ended up breaking up. The company disbanded and a bunch of people went in different ways. Daniel was the genius of that part of the world. So I kind of reach out to him maybe a couple months later when I find out that he left as well. I said, hey, I never got that program. He's, I'll do it. I'll still do it.
That's awesome.
You paid for it. I'll take care of it. He goes, but can we do a little bit of a partnership? And can I, 1%? That's all he wanted. Can I just say 1%?
And the whole model?
Yeah. And I'm like, sure. But I have given him money to fast forward. Worth it. But he designed all this stuff. But he is literally the genius child. And you call him, he's always there to do something. So he's a machine. I've never seen anything like him. Probably about my age, a little younger.
Okay. So he's not like a 23-year-old fucking wonder kid.
No, but he was the 20. He said as long as he's lived, he's been fiddling around with computers.
Nice. No, most of the young crowd of today is
they pick one thing that they do and they do that.
Is what, Jay?
Brain dead.
They don't know the whole cycle of he can sit there, he could build you the computer and then build you the software and then build the whole network for an entire country, which is what he did. He built the software for RFK for the vaccine initiative. Wow. So all that vaccines that he pulled, that was built on Daniel's software that he designed for them to do their testing. Wow. He's on my board.
You got him using peptides?
Oh yeah. The guy's lost a ton of weight.
Nice.
It's in great shape.
Some people are crazy gifted.
Usually when they're that smart, they can't talk. Like they can't socially be there.
Yeah.
Or they just get me out of here. They have anxiety about it. He is a chatterbox.
What else? Is there anything else big?
I was just thinking to myself, what did we not cover?
All right. Yeah. Bobby, you can get out of here. Well, let's bring in like Scott real quick or somebody or marketing. Just do open up some sales stuff. Thank you, Bobby. No, he's had a rough couple of days. Okay, don't worry. Oh, you go again.
I still have brown hair, so life is good.
He still has hair.
Yeah.
So that's good. Hey,
see as well, just in case.
Yeah.
You can take.
Hey, you know what? I'll be honest. So like Sophie, friggin' lifesaver, having this, like, because I was just losing time. I wasn't taking care of myself. You saw I was getting fat. I've been like 3 months, like working out again, like doing the peptide.
So basically, he shoved all of his work on Sophie, and now he just,
exactly
kicks it.
Brought you more clothes though, if you want to change.
Nah, it's all right. We're just gonna do it.
Just clip it out.
Sorry, no.
She
Hey.
brought a bunch of shirts, so.
I appreciate it. I'll take them back and hang them back up. Like,
For this?
yeah, because originally we were gonna do like 3 hours, so I was gonna say let's do like 3 different segments, an hour, but whatever. But yeah. So anyway, we have a stunt Bobby called Scotty.
You're not using the stunt cock joke anymore.
Oh, I love the stunt cock joke. I love you know another reason why. Bless you, Jesus.
That was powerful fucking.
Yeah, you blew the fucking fan over. I will say two things I love about you guys. One, Jay uses dumpster fire like I do.
Yep.
I loved that term for years,
It's amazing.
and yeah, it's just such a just
flaming dumpster.
yeah. That's a flaming dumpster fire, and then Scott's the only guy I know that no one actually knows his real first name. I'm the only guy on earth that calls him Scott.
What?
Yeah.
No
I
joke.
feel like I don't like it. I feel like
He hates it. I can't stop calling him. Everybody calls him Riedel.
There's so many freaking Scots in this world. It's like just call me.
But you're
Riedel.
my Scott.
I am your. Well, yeah. You call me Scotty and Scott. That's what
Scotty.
And now everybody in this world all call me Scott. So I'm like, all right, I'm just constantly in fucking trouble.
No.
Yeah. And Trevor loves it. He's like, make him feel fucking uncomfortable.
Yeah, let's do it. But yeah, I mean, you talk about another one that he's like I said, he was, hey, we were all overworked for a long time, and we did a lot of investing into the team. I'm sure you guys are.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through the phase where like we got it, and then all of a sudden you sit there and going like, I don't think we have this. We need more people.
Yeah. Yep.
So I got him the girl that came in, she like stalked me on Instagram and was messaging me, not like in a weird way, but like, hey, I'm really into everything you're doing. I'd love to come over. She was Shaquille O'Neal's assistant.
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm not going to tell you how much she was making, but she's making a hell of a lot more than I'm paying her.
Yeah, of course.
Like, why would you have a great job? And by the way, Shaq loves her, literally still calls her. Like, I miss you, dude.
First day she comes in the office, he's like, "You're coming to Super Bowl this weekend, right?" She's like, "I don't work for you anymore." Like, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, man,
I don't have Super Bowl tickets. Sorry.
Now you got Scott.
I got mini golfing about 3 blocks down. We go hit that later. Big
Sorry.
sporting event. Yeah, you got Scott. You got Scotty the body over here.
Up, baby.
Yeah, but she is very smart, and she wants to do something. I think, like she says, a little bit more important, grand scheme of life.
Yeah,
She's not going to be his PA for very long, but what's good is she's going to get the crash course working for
How
him.
old is she?
27.
Oh, perfect.
And she's smart, she's driven. And
She was an athlete.
I'm like, you're not that, Gen Zer that's just like expecting a handout. She's like, give me
Yeah,
work.
she
Like, I
tennis,
want it
right?
for
She was.
grind. Yeah.
She played tennis at UCLA.
So she's decent looking.
She's
She's right there.
Oh, that's her. Yeah.
Yeah, you just met her.
I had no idea that was the same person.
Yeah. So, but she's just really organized and very easy to hang out with. Like she when she needs to be a fly on the wall, she can be a fly on the wall. Yeah. So anyway, we finally got some people. We hired medical director. We hired a director of for Paramount Health. We got, you promoted John. We moved something around. So I think we finally got some people. But then I still decided to crush his dreams and give him more work by firing things off early.
That's where you got to do it.
Curveballs. But you know what?
I want work, but I'm taking care of myself at the same time, which is weird.
I've always never
It makes
stopped.
you
that.
like more efficient too. Because this is me. I've told you this. I go through these freaking waves and stuff, and like I was in a down wave, and I'm like, I'm back, and I feel so fucking crazy.
Yeah, unfortunately, the president of our company can't be fat and ugly. So
I was doing it for before and after.
So I got you a plastic surgeon on the books for the rest of you. So
Put that in his contract. You can't be fat and ugly.
Yeah.
remember like back in the day, like when I first started working, it was like you couldn't have tattoos, couldn't have a pierced ear, all this stuff.
Yeah, on all the resumes applications.
Well, no, I think the new one is you have to have sleeves.
Yeah. Right. It'll be tatted up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone in the company has sleeves.
I
now.
have my boss calling me up. Hey, I got a tattoo artist staying at my place for 3 weeks. You have to come get a tattoo before she goes. It's a requirement.
It's a requirement.
Yeah, I couldn't even get a fucking appointment.
I know. She's
Yeah.
coming back.
Yeah, she's dead. She's I already got my dates on the books. but
we have a good life. This is freaking awesome.
yeah. So you know what's funny is I know we've talked about a lot of peptides the last week, but I want to ask you, do you ever use that app online that you scan and it gives you like a rating of 0 to 100?
No,
And it
I've
tells
never heard
you,
of it.
do you have the wrapper still?
It rates what?
That
For
wrapper.
food.
Yeah, where's the wrapper? Let me see the wrapper.
Yeah, it's a food scan.
It's called,
Probably the worst food ever.
It's a
well, it
food
doesn't matter. I just
scan.
want to show you what it is. So I love it.
Yeah,
If it's
sure,
worse, it's actually
for
better.
sure.
But, you know, okay, like bread, you know, you scan most bread, it's going to tell you it's crap, right? But then you'll find, like, I have a pasta, organic pasta that I bought from Costco of all places that was imported from Italy, made by hand kind of deal, but it's still dry pasta. I scanned it. It was perfect 100 out of 100. So imagine getting a pasta that's that good for you. Yeah. And it was 6 different versions. So anyway, it does this, got everything you can think of in here. And you
What's
just,
the name of the app?
Yuka. So my mom uses this, and the reason why she has to use it is because of her
yeah.
food for her diet, because she had cancer, and we're trying to make sure she doesn't die of
Download it
cancer.
right now.
Right? So here it is. Boom.
YUCA.
Okay, here you go. So this protein bar is a 31 out of 100. But this is the best part. Just knowing a
Tastes
number
good.
doesn't mean crap, because sometimes why it may give it a lower score doesn't matter to me and you because we work out. But this is where it is. Okay, so the one that I hate is the additives.
Yeah, of course.
When that's in there, the calories are a little higher. Don't worry about calories. Saturated fat, I don't worry about that. Sodium, I really don't worry about that.
Nope.
It's good things are protein and it doesn't have any sugar,
That's good.
right? So but then it gives you suggestions of other ones that might be better. But why come up here? Why is it bad? So you go to additives
Well, that's
and then
shit.
boom, you come here. It tells you what they are.
Syrup. The sorbic acid's not bad.
No, that's why it says risk free, but there's like, these are things they shouldn't put in here.
Yeah.
So this one, it actually isn't that
It's not
bad.
that bad.
No.
It tastes good.
Yeah, it's just sweeter.
Lemon. That's why I eat it.
Yeah, so it gives it a 31, but I'd probably say this is more like a 75.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
No. So, but I
But
use
all bars are shit, right? But we're just eating them because we're attempting to get excess protein.
It's
because
better
we're
not
very
than not eating
metabolically
anything.
active. Yes. Yes.
But what I do love doing about it is things that I won't ever take out of my diet, like ketchup or Skippy peanut butter.
Just think of Pulp Fiction.
Ketchup.
Yeah. What the dad say? The small potato. Ketchup. Oh, such a great one with Thurman joke.
Such a great movie.
Yeah, honestly, one of the best of all
Of
time.
all time.
But it's one of those things that I think we talk a lot about peptides and me, but this is an app that will at least help you maybe find or try some things that might be better for you. So, like for instance, I was always eat like the Oro wheat or whatever wheat bread. I'm thinking, oh, it's wheat bread, it's great. And then I knew it. Well, it's all bleached, it's all enriched. There's nothing good in it whatsoever. It's a 0. Right. So then you go to Dave's Famous or one of the other ones. But I found a bread that I got, I think it's called Good Fit. And it's a perfect 100 out of 102 for plate bread. And it's actually semi-soft. I keep it in the fridge. It'll last longer.
So is there a way to go into the app and just pick out 100 out of 100 products?
You probably can. I don't think I've used it that far.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything you scan, it'll tell you options that are better.
Dude, that's an amazing fucking,
Right?
I think.
Oh, I actually taught
Finally
something
got-
to Jay.
I literally finally got value out of Trevor. Finally got
Hey,
value
this
out
is
of Trevor.
recorded, right? He said I added
Finally got value out of Trevor. Finally added value, man.
I am your Luke Skywalker, adding some value to Yoda.
Boba
How
Fett.
diet
Boba
focused
Fett.
are
Love
you?
it.
Right now,
Like just in general, like what's
I mean, dude, we should talk about that because it's a great question. I mean, bro, I'm the least diet focused right now that I've ever been in my life, and that's because of the tools, right? I'm using a very microdose of GLP-3. I'm using
How
a
much you use? When you say
radical
microdose?
product.
Because I want you.
Yeah, no, I'll be very honest. Like I use 0.25 to 0.35 milligrams once or twice a week, and like you, sometimes I forget.
Yeah.
So I might only inject once a week. Sometimes I'll inject 3 times a week. I'm pretty sure this week I will inject 3 times because I injected on Saturday and I injected today. And so I'll probably inject on Friday because our photo shoot is Saturday. But usually it's once or twice a week.
What's the benefit of that?
Improved nutrient partitioning, improved insulin signaling, and increased metabolism. I mean,
Yeah.
it's basically revving your metabolism. So the more muscular, the leaner you are, the more fit and literally the leaner you're going to become. Now, fatter people are more resistant, right? Because they're more insulin resistant. So it may do other things for them, like actually suppress their appetite a little bit. But if you're like us,
I still eat
it actually increases your metabolism. It just makes you a little bit leaner because it's increasing, like I said, nutrient partitioning.
Now, someone named Hunter
I
that you
take
used
a
to know
tiny bit.
yeah.
actually said that if you use less than a milligram, it's useless, I believe, the other day I read.
I don't know why he would say that. I mean, first off, I taught Hunter everything he knows. So if he's going to say things like that, it's not true. But
and maybe I misspoke. So Hunter, don't kill me.
I don't. No, I
could have sworn I heard you say that.
I love Hunter.
No, I do too. But I was just, I know I saw that. I go, I try and use a 0.5 milligram twice a week if I ever do use it now.
That's all you need.
Just to kind of remember what it feels like a little bit.
Well, look,
or someone leaves it in my fridge.
This is important. And by the way, this is in the newest book, right? So we haven't talked about the book. So the book comes out next week. It's called Metabolic Awakening with GLP Peptides. It's, again, 720 pages. It's 1,400 scientific references.
Quick read.
Dude. I mean, the average person probably won't even read it because it's so technical and so dense, but we cover everything, all the side effects, all the mainstream media nonsense, everything that you could possibly analyze about why they're good or why they're bad. And we break it all down. And the truth is, and this is a very big misnomer, is that even fat, metabolically dysregulated flaming dumpster fire people do not need high dosages of GLPs.
No, like
it's
I said,
complete scam.
Lisa has never once touched above 2 milligrams on Retta.
Exactly. And there's no need to.
And she's 88 pounds down.
There's no need to. And as you know, and again, we don't want to disparage the pharmaceutical
unless you
industry,
burn yourself out.
But the pharmaceutical industry starts these people at super high dosages and then titrates them higher, blows out the receptors. And so now they can't start with a microdose because their body already has receptor affinity or receptor attenuation. So if you start them at a microdose or at a low dose, they will still get benefit. And I've done this with hundreds, if not thousands of people online, hundreds of people in person between my private membership groups and stuff. And I've never seen a very fat, again, call it metabolically deranged dumpster fire person not get results by doing less than 1 milligram a week. You're 100% right. I mean, he's 251 pounds. I'm close to 220 pounds and we're super fit and we're using tiny doses to just bump our metabolism this amount, right? To bump insulin signaling to bump nutrient partitioning amount. And again, and we haven't talked about this, and I talk about this in the book. There's a whole chapter. GLP-3 and beyond, which is coming, obviously you could probably even lump in FLGR242, is going to radically transform bodybuilding. It's going to transform performance enhancement, right? Because in the next 2 to 3 years, as the new stuff comes out, the phase 4 and the phase 5 agonists, I mean, people are going to be mutants. Guys are going to get on stage at 350 and 4% body fat. That's what's going to happen. That's what this is going to do.
The reality is we do not need any better weight loss tools.
No,
we don't need anything to lose more weight any more quickly. We need education. But from there, I think any improvements that we do now are going to be improvements not on reduction of weight, but on maintenance of health in the body and making sure that you do a better job or you can't hurt yourself.
And guess what? It all comes from education.
Exactly.
And the problem is, and this is where you and I are going to really exceed in the next 3 to 5 years, is we will teach clinicians how to do this right.
Yeah.
And it will go against the pharmaceutical mandates and the standards, but it doesn't matter because you guys know, and we know this, the doctors really, at the end of the day, they want to help people. They're not in it.
Yeah, they're not trying to be
in it to harm people.
No.
But they're getting bad advice. They get information from the pharmaceutical manufacturers who say, the studies show, as you know, that you got to give somebody 8 to 12 milligrams a week of retatrutide for 52 weeks. And they'll still lose 71 pounds, right? But what they don't tell you, because that study's in my book, none of those people reduced their calories. None of those people exercised. None of those people lived insulin controlled. None of those people ate enough protein, and none were hormonally optimized. And they still lost 72 pounds. And then what they don't tell you is that all of those people suffered horrendous side effects, right? Like now we know that GLP-3/retatrutide is literally causing this skin sensitivity. You hear this from people.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, and I never heard that in my life. Exactly. But they're literally getting hit with 10 and 12 milligrams a week. Imagine what that's doing pharmacologically to their bodies.
Well, and then
it's insane.
And then once you are there, it is virtually impossible to ever reverse it all the way. It's like you're literally rewiring your DNA at some point.
Literally rewiring your DNA. The only way you could do it.
When it's burnt, it's burnt.
Dude,
not all the way. You can bring it somewhat back.
You can reboot it with like LDN, and there's other standards. Yes, there's standards, but like Trevor said, it's very hard. And most of these people are not in condition.
The problem is if you're 300 pounds overweight and you say, hey, bro, sorry, you got really screwed up, but I need to get off of everything. And there's this in there going, oh my God, I'm putting on weight like crazy.
Right.
And you're just like, but you're going to be stuck like this forever. Yeah. And maybe it will stop working at all for you. You're going to go their way. But I have a friend like that. My Dr. Ira, he literally they had him at 15 milligrams of Peptide within the first 4 months. They had him on.
Think about that.
Oh, just massive amounts of everything. He comes to me, he's like, nothing's working.
That
And
guy
I'm like,
probably never shit for 4 weeks.
You're like, no shit, it's not working.
yeah. And I've been trying to, right now I've on a metabolic reset. He is not taking anything.
That's awesome.
Well, it's a definition of working too that these people have, right? It's like,
Right.
I'm still hungry. I'm still eating. It's like, no, that's just one component of these things,
dude.
right?
Yeah,
And like, that's
yeah.
where it's so hard even for the doctors to talk them through this because people are so addicted to eating.
They are, dude. They
That's the
are.
hardest
You
problem.
know,
that's
I'm
the
addicted
thing.
to eating. I love eating.
But that's the problem.
But you work out.
No, but dude,
Yeah.
to your point though, and this is what Sal from Mind Pump talks about, and I've done podcasts with him about this. They spend the food science, call them big agra. They spend billions of dollars a year in creating these hyper addictive they call it addictive chemicals to train wash people's brains so that they continue to overeat, go way beyond, satiety. And so what's happening is these people who continue to eat and get this fat, it's not because their bodies are desiring the food. It's because the mind is literally addicted to the emotional high that they get from eating that food. So that's why these people just continually eat these, GMO boxed chemical addictive foods plus fast foods, right? Think about the shit they put in the fries and all that stuff. But these people literally, the number one thing, and again, I talk about this in the book, is that GLPs do is it stops that over programming of the brain so that they can actually stop becoming addicted to this. Again, it's this hyper palliative addiction.
Can I ask, and this is going down a conspiracy theory,
That's fine.
but
You know,
okay,
you
there's
know, I never.
I know. So don't jump in too early. I have a two-stepper in here. Okay. So number one, we are allowing people that we know obviously have way too much money into vaccines over like Bill Gates, that we allow him to spray our food with chemicals, right? They're doing it. But number two, they have now also shown that they can inject all of our vaccines into our foods. They've already done it, right?
You can ingest them?
Apparently.
Oh, yeah, bro.
So they're doing that. They're vaccinating us. Now, what is there to say that maybe some of these companies have been hiding because they don't come up on the normal, you don't test.
Right.
Maybe they've been putting in addictive qualities to eating these foods like sweets and so forth more than we should. Because,
I would say you're right.
like, have we ever gone down that route that maybe they actually have literally cocained or meth in a bad?
I honestly believe that Coca-Cola, there's been studies and there's been documentaries that they did that in
the beginning.
South America.
Yeah.
They did that in South America. They did that in pretty much all of Latin America, Mexico, lower part of Mexico, where they were literally putting cocaine in the actual Coke.
You're talking even just about the addictive.
I'm just saying,
ingredients,
I feel like they've put addictive
But
stuff.
sugar is addictive.
40
by
times
itself.
more. Sugar's
a
more
natural-
addictive than cocaine.
Yeah, sugar is a
brain.
natural product that's addictive. It's like, you put sugar in it, you're gonna want to go.
Well, dude,
back
if
for
you
more,
really,
right?
because you just opened the can of worms, so I'm gonna go.
Oh, let's go, baby.
But here's the thing. The
There
truth
goes dinner.
is-
We're missing it.
The truth is that alcoholism, sugar addiction, every drug addiction, right? Meth, whatever it is, heroin, all of these things are portals, right? So it's like, what is really happening? Why are they wanting people addicted to these things? Because are they making them programmable so that these, call them hyperdimensional entities, fallen angels, demons, whatever the fuck they are, reptilians, are they going into these people?
Yeah.
Are they going into these people? Right? Because like you think about it, like, I mean, again, I watched my mom, and God bless my mom's soul. May she rest in peace. She died in 2023 of COVID, but she was morbidly obese, right? So obviously that's one of the reasons I'm so into solving obesity. That's what I write about in the book. But like my mom had she had I would say in the last 10 years of her life, she had MPD. Like she literally had a separate personality. And, all she did was she lived in her house. She couldn't move. She was 350 pounds, right? So she just sat in this giant chair that my dad got her, and she would just move from the refrigerator to that chair. And that was her life. And so my dad used to joke, and he'd say, oh, she has her social media life on Facebook. And then she has her call her kids, text her kids life. But like, how do we know that these people who are addicted to this stuff, again, what doesn't matter what it is, whatever substance, you named them all, aren't really being remote piloted by entities? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm starting to think, like, if you really look at obviously the Epstein files, you start looking at everything that's now coming out that we know is real, right? Like we don't know how it's real, but we know it's real. What if that's really what it is? What if this whole time, because I think it was Cave said last night at dinner, and he's right, it's a spiritual war. It's a war between good and evil. And what if evil controls all of these companies that can make us, again, the hyper addictive palliative of foods, science, whatever? What if that's what their goal is ultimately, is to get these entities to remote pilot these people to feed off of them energetically? I honestly think, dude, they are doing it through the phones, but honestly, I honestly think,
well, like, how do people
this
like
is where
Gavin
it's
Newsom
going.
with that many charges against him? Just seems that no one has any ability.
Well, they're a separate species, bro. They're literally a separate species.
Like literally billions.
He should
and
be in
billions.
prison.
He should be in prison or killed at this point.
Why
like,
is Fauci still alive?
Like,
why are all of these people?
Why is he untouchable? There's no one that actually goes, we're going to arrest you. You've literally committed so much fraud. You should be in prison for 100 million years.
Dude, they're separate
but yet
species.
nothing seems to be able to touch him.
Nothing.
It makes no sense. Why can't we fly over Antarctica?
Exactly. Well, they're there. I
Yeah,
mean, bro,
it's
they're there.
freaking me
Well,
out.
I mean, think about,
You're not allowed to step foot on it. You're not allowed to fly over it.
dude.
Why can't I fly over it?
We were talking about this last night. Kaveh and I and Bobby and you and who else was there? Sanjeev. We were literally talking about this yesterday. Somebody sent this to me. I thought it was a scam, but it's real. There's literally an Epstein file, a document that talks about the reptilians, and it was about somebody messaging him about how do you know when they're actually in your presence? And the answers were given, like they have this smell, they have this, like the person has this like weird, like moving back and forth type thing. I mean, how about what's the guy that the CEO of Pfizer, Albert Bourla?
Yeah.
You've seen his neck like swell, right? So it's like you start adding all of these things up and you're thinking like, okay, I can't explain it, right? Because it's hyperdimensional, some sort of entity or whatever, but are they possessed or are they actually being remote piloted from another level? You know what I'm saying? And I honestly am starting to think that everyone that has these horrific addictions, it doesn't matter what it is, food, drugs, whatever, is being under the influence of one of these entities. And the entity is really that's pushing them to do this. I mean, I've watched a lot of documentaries on people that are, that have multiple personality disorder and the ones that go to prison, right? Like the ones that can't stay out in society and they just put them in prison. And a lot of the people that work with them, the psychiatrists, the clinical psychologists, et cetera, the people that work with them, they will literally off camera, they'll never admit it because they get paid by the system. They'll be like, oh yeah, they're possessed. They have an entity. They have a demon. They have something in them. What if that's all this is? And all these people that are literally not in control of themselves, overeating,
why do people sit there and go, I don't want to be fat. I do not want to be this.
And
they just keep doing it. Like at
That's
what point?
Occam's razor.
Like why can't you just be like, you know what? When you go to the store, I'm going to buy a piece of chicken.
Dude, Occam's
They
razor.
can't do it.
The simplest answer.
Like they literally have a block in the brain. Someone's like, nope, we're not allowed.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'll do it tomorrow.
That loves fast food.
Yeah.
There is definitely a addictive part of fast food, right? Like,
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Are they programming that though?
I don't know.
Like that is rewiring your brain because
100%.
for me, I look at that and go, that's disgusting.
Exactly. When was the last time you actually even ate fast food?
Oh, I eat it from time to time and I realize how bad it is.
Like a
I
hamburger.
had a cherry
Chick-fil-A.
I like Chick-fil-A.
Who doesn't like Chick-fil-A?
I had a cherry Coke earlier. I'm sitting there
What
going,
is Chick-fil-A
this is gross.
scan on that thing? 5
Oh,
out of
I don't.
100?
It doesn't have a barcode, so you can't do it.
My
But I
God,
wonder if you
maybe
can.
5.
You might be able to type it in. Oh, type it in. Hold
Yeah,
on.
we've all seen the documentaries that they don't use real chicken.
I am so pissed. By the way,
Like when you eat a cheeseburger,
hold on.
there,
Chick-fil-A. That's right.
An hour later, you're like, man, I really want another.
You know what the weird
But
thing
if you
is?
go eat real food.
You don't feel that way, no.
But you
It's
know the
not
weird
fake.
thing though,
Uh,
I haven't eaten fast food in a long time.
Me
Like,
neither, bro.
I'm just and I never really liked it. But if I go eat McDonald's right now, I'm gonna feel like shit and be like, I never want to go back.
Exactly.
But somehow people push through and they keep going back. They're like, now I need.
Well, but
to
it's
fucking
right.
go back.
It really is. You just said it. It's changing your brain waves so that you're not actually hungry for it. Your brain is craving it.
Yeah.
It's the change in
Yeah,
energy.
And there's so many different things. There's colors, you know.
Oh yeah, all of it, dude. All of it. All of
it's
it.
like
all of
yellow
it.
and red.
Yeah,
Like the reason
yeah,
everything's
all of
yellow
it.
and red.
Yeah,
is it
yellow
makes
and
you
red.
hungry.
Yes,
So you
yes.
see this big yellow red
Yes,
sign.
yes, yes.
Like,
It's
yeah,
I need to go eat that.
I think the only time I really do
I
like
think it's because
gross
we don't
fast
have
food is when
it.
it's
We'll then start
No, there's a
I'm gonna kill
psychological
somebody
thing
because
with
of
hunger.
hunger, so I need to do something. But
because in other countries it's not true.
But then when you're muscular like we are, and when you train as hard as we train, we can eat whatever the fuck we want.
messes
and
my
we're not
stomach
gonna
every
get
time.
fat. But you can feel like shit
Mhm.
from it. But the truth is that like, oh, by the way, I just remembered the last time I ate fast food was Arby's beef and cheddar.
oh
in-
god, that was one that I hated.
But I ate that it was
So
a
gross.
dare. It was a dare in September when I went back. Or no, it was in October of last year when I went back to my dad's 80th birthday in Kentucky. We took him to the racetrack. And my brother went and bought a giant bag and bought like 10 of them. And he's like, all right, which one of you motherfuckers is actually going to go back and eat one? And I ate one. And yeah, I mean, it was tasting
Every
so
time.
good. But literally 3 hours later, I was like, why did I eat that?
You know what I had for the first time because it was free at the gas station? It was Subway in a long time.
Was it just like a turkey sandwich?
No, so I got the Philly cheese, and boy, that messed me up.
Oh my God. I can only imagine how shitty that was.
I had a friend.
Oh, you remember that?
Remember
So it's like
Jared
it's
and
so
Subway?
funny that like if you spend $100, you get a free Subway, and I was at like $97,
remember
and
that.
I'm like, I was like $3 in gas in the ground. I'm like, I'm getting my free sandwich.
You ate it and you're like,
I told you
"God,
I have a
do that
problem
again."
of wasting things.
Yeah.
I can't do it because I didn't have
You
it.
know,
You
when
were
I-
legit excited about it though. You got
Bro, when I was
I didn't have forever. I know anything free.
Dude, in my family, being poverty stricken too, my mom said, "Oh, you have a Gold Star plate, so you had to finish all the food on your plate to be awarded a Gold Star plate. So even if you were like stuffed, you had to finish."
See, I didn't have that. Thank God. My
Oh
mom.
no,
did.
we had to do that. We had to do that in my family. It
My
was
mom
like, you get
was-
a Gold Star plate if you finish the whole thing. And again, my parents, and of course their parents came from the Prussian mindset, right? So you didn't waste food.
You couldn't waste food because
Could
someone
not
needed
throw
that.
anything away.
right.
I mean, dude, just true story. We were so
Yes,
poor.
you shouldn't because that trains them to overeat.
No, never. But dude, I was so poor as a kid growing up. You'll laugh at this. That my dad would wait. I mean, I have 6 brothers and 3 sisters, but my dad would wait until all the kids ate, and then he would literally go around and pick up their plates and scrape it off onto his plate, and then eat.
That was his meal.
That was his
Wow.
meal.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Jesus, different times.
Yeah. No, I mean, our kids today have no understanding of that. My daughter is like fucking door dashing and fucking Instacarting. I didn't even know Instacart existed till
Yeah.
like 3 weeks ago. She's like,
Yeah.
Dad, why don't you Instacart?
I hate to say this, and I don't want to get politics, but all those people that are out there protesting things are so
They
horrible.
have no clue.
You probably have not lived through that
No.
much.
No,
that you
they haven't lived through
This is not
They're all
horrible.
paid to be there.
I don't know about you, but like even I don't think any of those people that are out there protesting lived through the housing collapse.
No.
When I remember just people losing their homes.
Dude, no one under the age of 30 right now has suffered. They've never had a downtime.
You've
They've
never
had a downtime economically. There's not been a downtime.
yeah, you've never had the point where you go, yeah, we're going to move into one bedroom,
Exactly.
or you're not going to move into anything. You're going to go back to your parents' house or live with your grandparents at 40 years old, like that kind of thing. You know what I mean? It really is. We've not had that kind of swing. They somehow elevate the society up.
Yeah, the Ponzi scheme now just doesn't collapse. They just keep
They just keep on robbing
pumping
people.
shit into
Hey,
it.
Paul.
Keep
I mean, have you ever?
pumping shit
I know this is another touchy subject, but I'm not talking about Nazis being anything good. But do you ever look at the way that the Nazi Germans got themselves back into an economic power because they had zero chance of it? By the way,
Exactly.
it's pretty crazy if you look at what they did. So the Rothschilds were running the banking system.
Still
And-
are.
They are, but they were in that country. And then when Hitler was elected, he booted him out. And he was not a good man. I'm not talking about
Yeah.
it. But how he got this out. So you're talking about a country that lost World War I, and all the debt
The whole place was
of the entire
destroyed,
country was put on them. Like, hey, you don't get to rebuild your own country until you pay off what you fucked up around the rest of the
Exactly.
world, right? So you got this garbage fire of just rubble and
Germany
people-
was bombed into the Stone Age.
yeah, there was nothing left. And then literally the Rothschilds are holding all this debt and interest over these people. And he comes in and he goes, no,
Nope, you're out.
no more interest rates. You can borrow money and it's free.
Exactly.
And they were able to turn themselves
5 years.
into a super, less than that,
5
3 years.
Well,
they
it's 3
turned-
years they rebuilt the infrastructure. 5 years where they took over the world.
and then they were a superpower with it.
Exactly.
And you wonder why do I got to
Debt
pay
servicing.
27%
Debt
interest
servicing
just to borrow a
is-
credit
debt
card?
servicing is what controls the world.
It does. And that's the people that have the money, that's why they have the power, because they
Exactly.
control the debt, they control you.
Exactly. 100%.
And by the way, there is no positiveness to debt. Like
No.
there's nothing you get out of debt other than heartache,
Exactly.
right? When you pay taxes, you
Exactly.
may hate paying taxes, but what you should be doing with those taxes, or what they should be doing with your taxes, is using that money to fund something better for society. That's why
Right.
you pay it. When you pay
Right.
Social Security, you're paying an insurance policy for when you
Right.
retire, right? There's reasons why you pay these things. Debt is just pure suck. So
Although today we don't know where our taxes are
There's-
even going other than being stolen.
yeah, they're being stolen.
I mean,
Let's look at the roads.
Paying for all the handouts for people that want the handouts
Yeah,
through
exactly.
welfare. Then
Yeah.
what's that teaching them? Just to put their hand out further instead of educating them, right? And so it's just that's the never ending spiral.
Well, I mean, if you talk about like the homeless, do you realize that in California, the way that the people that are paid for homeless are doing is how many they service, not how many they get off the street.
Right.
They should get zero money for how many people they take care of. They should get paid 10 times as much as they get per person to get one off.
You guys were so crazy as a person. Like,
why would they ever help anybody?
I lived in SoCal for forever, like you guys, so I'm so familiar with like the homeless. There's no homeless in Florida.
There's no homeless in Orange.
He doesn't. He literally, what's his name?
Yeah,
The governor of Florida does not allow homeless people.
Rubio,
like if
right?
what's not Rubio? It's what is his name? Can't even think of his name right now. But anyway, there's no homeless in Florida.
Well, I mean, go to other countries. Go to Mexico.
No, they don't have homeless down
There's
there.
no homeless people.
No.
Everybody's working.
Exactly.
They're doing something.
Exactly.
They do something to take care
Ron
of it.
DeSantis. I couldn't think of his name.
And even if they aren't making money, the fact that they are attempting to work and make money, someone will take care of them.
Yeah.
They'll bring them food.
Yeah.
They'll bring them breakfast. They have a home. Everybody does something. There's no bums sleeping and shooting heroin.
Literally, they have
We only allow
They
this
have a
in this
no
country.
homeless tolerance policy in Florida, and the sheriffs arrest them if they see them out panhandling or they see them sleeping
where they're
on
not
the
allowed
curb.
more.
They're literally arrested.
Yeah.
Like I said,
It's
the
insane.
metric, there is definitely a mental illness issue.
Oh, there's no doubt it's a mental illness.
It's a mental illness issue, but the way that what we do with them is not correct.
No.
And what we support, and like, oh, we need to support the homeless. No, you need to support mental health,
Yeah, exactly.
and you shouldn't allow homelessness.
Right. There's no reason they can't work. There's no reason they can't get paid for doing an able-bodied work or
You know
job
what?
that day. There's
Put
plenty of stuff.
them into construction. Put them into digging dishes. I don't care what it is.
Anything.
You can build somebody a home for less than $2,000.
Exactly.
In reality,
Exactly.
you know what? There's a lot of hard work that people don't want to do. Good. Put a roof over their head. Give them running water. Give them a toilet. And give them a meal. And have them extend the road all the way to Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't care. Make it 28 lanes wide if you want to. Just have them
No
doing
shit.
something. Make sure that they're putting in a
Just
day's work
redo
every
all
day.
the roads in Los Angeles and Orange County
why would they
and
do
Riverside
that?
County. So people could actually drive their cars without
No, because they
destroying
think
them.
about all those pop tires and bent rims that they get all out of the tax money there. Every rim's like 18 grand now on all those cars.
So true.
It's like our education system is so fucked up too, because like nobody even knows how to use their hands anymore.
No, bro.
You guys,
The
see
average kid can't sign it. They can't sign their name.
No.
But
They have no idea,
Yeah, what
no
cursive
ability to
is.
write.
yeah.
Did you?
Think
There was
about
a
that.
South Park episode where like the richest guy in the town became the handyman because like
Yeah.
AI
Yeah.
took over and all
And
of a sudden
no
he's
one
driving
knew how to
around
do
a limo with like a fur coat and he's like, "I'll do it when I'm ready," like because everyone's like, "Oh, I can't do shit."
It really is true. You better start building robots to do it.
We were talking about that today at the gym. Like, imagine going to a gym right now and how many people can actually service gym equipment.
I found a guy.
Yeah, I found a guy.
know
too.
that the specialty people are going to be the freaking rich people
It
because
will be.
the AI's taking over the people's brains that they think they have from
Literally,
school.
dude.
Plumbers make more money than doctors now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's absolutely true. They
It's
charge
true.
insane.
My buddy Tom, electrician, how much money he make?
Uh,
The more money than us.
Yeah,
No joke. This guy,
He has his own business.
Boyer Electric. Sorry, I just gave out his name, but
you
you can figure it out. It's on the fan. But
Newport Beach, use them.
yeah, or don't. He's very expensive. Just know. Yeah, I mean, those are things I don't know how to do that stuff.
no, right.
So I am bound to pay someone.
You
My
have to.
cousin just sent me a $6,000 bill to help me with my ducting in the attic. You know how much I'm paying his guys that are on homie hookup rate? I think I'm paying them like
$250
$200 an hour.
An hour.
Hold on, let me
and
let me find-
there's the
hold on.
friggin-
Let me look this up.
There's the argument
That
for
is-
trade schools after high
They
school.
supply
Ju-
the supply
if you-
separately.
Yeah.
Everything's expense and itemized.
So here it is. I'm paying him for the job. It is 16 hours per guy. Oh, there's 3 of them. I thought there was only 2. So what is that's 48 24. What's 2430 divided by 48?
What is it? What number?
2430 divided by 48. I can do this here. 20. I know.
50.
Well, I know. I don't use it in my brain
I
anymore.
was gonna say 50, yeah.
56, I think.
All right, so I'm paying him on homie hookup $56 an hour. I thought there was like 2, so it was 100 something. But I'm paying $56 an hour just for that, and then they're paying for all the other stuff too. But I mean,
That's not bad though.
that's not a bad wage, right?
Yeah, no.
And that's the off hours wage.
laborers. Yeah.
So it's probably half price. So normally they probably make $112 an hour,
Yeah, it's crazy.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, I mean, the guys that were just doing the grease monkey work weren't making much money.
No.
Because it's like, oh, you're not a skilled labor, you're blue
Well, you were
collar.
a dime a dozen at that point, and
Right.
now you're
like one in a million.
the other way. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with my kid, if they're like, I love tinkering, I'm like, you do something with your hands because you are the, it's like finding someone without tattoos. You are the new
But you almost have to think,
freak.
You almost have to think though, like there, and before long, there'll be nobody to even teach them how to do any of this stuff.
No, you're absolutely right.
But you know what? If you do want to get smarter and you want to do better in school, don't take a bunch of Adderall. Take some peptides for the brain.
Oh,
And with that, we will shut this show down.
We'll see you later. Thank you, Jay, for coming down.
Of course.
Flew all the way in from Florida. Thank you.
Of course, anytime I'll always come to see you, my brother. I love you, man.
Love you, man, dude.
Of course, love you too.